Hello. Thank you guys for joining. StreamYard is being ugly to me. It's only working on my phone. I don't like it. What the world? Okay. Just bear with us, guys, while we fix it. It's not working on my computer. Oh well. Guess we'll go live from my phone until it dies. Because I'm not going upstairs to get it. Hey, Princess Megan, Elsa. Hey, Lisa. Kristen, Merry Christmas and welcome to the panel. I hope everyone had a wonderful and blessed day.
Yeah.
It was a long day.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, I don't know. For us, we were just kind of chilling. I mean, Princess Forensics had a migraine. Everybody else is just kind of chilling. So tried to take a nap, but that wasn't working.
Well, sister, we're not doing anything. We're just going to get together and spread some love and laughter and joy. And it's Christmas, and
Yeah.
it's we're almost in a new year, and it's what do we plan to do?
Yeah. Just kind of getting together to have as positive as a time that we can, because a lot of people, this isn't the Christmas they might have envisioned. Maybe they're stranded because of the weather. Maybe they're without some loved ones, and
My phone's
we
not going
just
to go.
wanted to offer a place to get together and just chit chat and check in with everybody and know that you are not alone. We are here, and that we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. So, did everybody have a wonderful Christmas? Hey, Michael. Hey, Katie. Katie Bug's in the house. I ain't seen her in here in a while. Princess Megan, Elsa. My husband's drinking coffee too. It's like 9 o'clock at night and he's drinking coffee.
Yeah, I'll drink coffee.
He's had a busy few days. We'll let him drink whatever he wants.
I know he has had a busy couple of days. You want up here? I don't know how to share it, sister. From
Let me see if I can.
I don't know.
I can. I can try
So
to
go
share
ahead,
it.
you guys. Hit the like. I'm trying to get it back up on my computer because I really don't like doing it from my phone because it's so hard for me to see. Happy Merry Christmas to you, Daisy. Shut up. You didn't want to be in this video with me, so you sit over there and hush.
Sure did.
I tried to get
Hey,
him on panel
Judy.
with.
We're glad you're here. We'll be hanging with you for a while. I'm sure it has been a long day.
Katie Bug, you can always celebrate with me. Okay, I'm gonna turn my computer off and back on. I don't know what it's being ugly.
Michelle, I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
try to.
figured out how to invite guests. Hold on.
Okay.
Figure out how to comment. Post a comment. What? I learned something new tonight.
Hey, Amethyst. Hey, Michael. Hey, Daisy. Hey, K-Bug.
So, there you go, sister. Or anybody that
Casey.
wants to come up, you're more than welcome.
Princess Megan. D.
Interpretation of the Twilight Saga. This is my first Breaking Dawn was. Oh, you're
Hey,
watching Twilight?
Happiness. Hey, Queen of the Rabbit Holes.
I am using StreamYard, but it's not
Hey,
working
Mary.
on my phone on my computer.
Hey, Cherokee Raider.
Hey, sister.
Hi. So Will and Jada did the one chip challenge tonight because they was bored, I guess. And they eat hot stuff all the freaking time, all the freaking time. They made it 2 minutes and 15 seconds. It was about. I mean, William was crying.
Yeah, I've not heard very good stories of the one chip challenge. D, thank you.
I'm probably glad they don't have the baby tonight now because they gonna be hurting later.
Yeah. Oh, you guys. So, Kristen, what did you get for Christmas? What was your favorite Christmas present?
Um, well, Princess Forensics and Mike gave me a joint present where I get to go see the San Francisco Giants play the Miami Marlins on my birthday in April
Oh,
in Miami. So, yeah, so I'll be doing that. And then LA Girl, she gave me a school sweatshirt because I have some T-shirts from her college, but nothing of a sort of a sweatshirt kind of a thing. And then she got me some new Vans. So
Vans.
Vans, the shoes,
I
Vans.
know. Casey, what was your favorite present?
My cup, my Ray Dunn thing.
Oh, my present. What is going on with this? Like, I've done reset it and everything on my computer. I don't know what's going on. So I'm stuck on my phone. Me.
And she needs somebody to give her the charger that's upstairs.
No, Cody already went and got that. He heard me when I said
Oh,
that. So he went.
KD,
What is my,
Bug,
maybe it's my internet.
William. One of the ladies said her husband always brags about loving hot stuff and she wants him to try it. What do you say?
No.
He said, hell no.
I'm gonna try it.
Still got a couple milks yet. I was eating that shit.
Good night, buddy. I love you.
Right in it. We took that one down. Yeah, you did.
So I'm not going to be trying the chip challenge. There was some other people that. Oh, here, Judy. I got you, Judy. Figured it out.
Judy.
Merry
Welcome.
Christmas, Judy. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
So, what was your favorite
Favorite what?
Christmas present?
I didn't get any.
Oh, you didn't buy yourself anything?
Nah.
See, if I didn't get something, I'd go buy myself something.
Well, if I was going to buy myself something, I'd wait for after Christmas sales anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Why is there two of you?
I'm trying to fix it so I can be on my computer so I can see better.
I'm so
Where's
glad to be able to talk and not have to type.
Oh, I bet. I'm not a good typer. It's not working. Hey, Claire Bear. Merry Christmas across the ocean.
Hi, Claire Bear. Did you get a kangaroo for Christmas?
So, I'm trying to think of what my favorite Christmas present is.
Being with your family.
Well, yeah, but I'm always with my family. What did I get it? Oh, I just ripped that bag. Oh, stop ripping. Stop ripping. My bag is ripping. Hold on. Oh, I don't even know what all was in this bag. Yo, this is hard because hold on, I'm having to hold my phone. Stupid. I got a whisk box.
Hey, Claire. Thanks for joining.
I didn't even open it. Oh, I know. This was probably my favorite. I need a stand. Oh, my sister left. This was probably my favorite. My husband has to take me on a date night.
Oh, to your dinner out?
Yeah, he has to take me. My mother-in-law
There you
gave us the Cheesecake Factory gift certificate.
Yummy.
And
Fun.
then we got some cash from my mother-in-law. And then Cody! Uh-oh. So sorry, you guys. This is not working out very well. Cody got me the 2 pairs of Hey Dudes and a new pair of Uggs. And then I gotta find out what happened to Kella's gift card because her gift card was in here. Oh, there it is. She got, this is from her mama, her and granddaddy. She got $250 this year, and I'm like, we are getting just the kids getting more than the adults is getting old. Just saying, like.
Hey Claire, hey KTM. Thanks for coming
And
in.
she got a new Pandora charm. Kella did. She got a new Pandora charm. And I don't know, you guys. We got some wax melts in this box, in this whiff box. I've never bought a whiff box.
In a what box?
A Scentsy whiff box. So
Never.
this is marshmallow mint cocoa.
That sounds nice.
It smells like the chocolate candy that I like, the Christmas bark that I like. That's what it smells like. I don't know that it would be good in a. Now that one doesn't smell bad. This is cran apple crumble.
That actually might smell good.
And then this is a whiff cup. Is what it's called. A wax cup, sorry. You just pop it out of the cup into the wax warmer. This is mango margarita.
Oh, yummy. You got me there.
Got some lotion. Of course, it would be closed up, so I can't smell it. Well, my husband and I weren't supposed to do gifts this year, but he went and bought me gifts anyways. So I told him I was his gift. I won't be using that.
What smell is that?
Coconut daiquiri.
Ew.
It's made in Idaho, though.
Okay.
I don't know what's in this box. Hold on. There's another box inside of this box. What the heck is this?
Claire knows I'm going to try to steal the margarita one.
Vanilla bean buttercream.
Well, I bet that smells good.
Claire, it's probably good that they live several states away.
From the top of the bottle, attached to decorative cap. Remove paper tape from the end of wick. It's like a wallflower. Okay. Oh dang. It's a big one. Okay. All right. We'll try it. It's gonna be hard to push myself away from.
Happiness, you're going to have to let us know how
The
that
Bath
comes
and Body Works. I love my
what
Bath
yummy things you make.
wallflowers. And then I got this. I doubt I baked these cookies, but Cody probably will. It says butter cookie mix. He wanted something sweet. Oh, and then of course, my mother-in-law knows the way to my heart.
You know,
That's what I got for my mother-in-laws. Oh, and we got a new Monopoly game.
what new Monopoly game?
It is all electronic. Doesn't have the cash. It's all like credit cards.
It's not as fun.
I don't know.
I like having the cash because then I actually feel
Well,
like
I
have
don't
something.
like having the cash because my kids think that it's a play toy and they take off with the cash, and then we can't play Monopoly because the cash is gone.
So I saw on TikTok earlier, it was this like electric table thing, and it's got all the board games built into it.
I want a real sloth.
So I can add you.
I would love to have a sloth.
Hear me? Alright, I'm
Katie,
getting on.
I love smell good stuff too, but with my migraines, I have to be very, very careful with things. So I tend to stick with things I know don't like flare up my headaches.
You on there?
You okay there?
It's just so
All right, well, I'm going to drop down because they're about to start gaming and it's going to get loud in here.
okay.
All right, honey. Well, it's good to see you. Haven't seen
Love
you
y'all.
in
Merry Christmas.
a while.
And I'm feeling a lot better, so I'll be back on y'all's stuff. I just
Okay.
been really sick all week.
Okay. Well, take care of you. It's good to see you.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, honey.
You said, what up? You said, yeah, I got.
Hey,
Judy, you're
Gray.
quiet.
Hey, Face of America.
Oh,
Hey, Gray. Hey, Face of America. I hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. If you love sloths and live in North Carolina, you need to go to It's a Zoo Life website. You can go and visit one. Shut up. I can go and play with a sloth. Are you serious?
no, this is my first time on, so I don't want to do something stupid and get banned the first time I get on.
Oh, no, Judy, go ahead.
Well, how much are you guys invested in the Kylie Ryan, the Kylie case?
So, I started with that's when I started my channel, was in during the Kylie Rodney case. It just got too deep for my understanding, and my brain doesn't work enough for me to go down in those deep holes. So I decided for myself, in honor of Kylie, I would just continue on with other cases. Um, I mean, I'm still following it. I'm still watching and reading and all of that. I'm not, I feel much better being able to just, in honor of Kylie, cover other cases.
Oh, well, I discovered you. I think probably around when you started your channel, and I follow Kevin. I like to see Kevin Neese, and I like Squirrel, but I think my personal opinion, because sometimes I'll just sit here and listen to you all night long. So when I wake up, I got to figure out, did I dream it or did they say it? So I have no receipts, or you know what I mean. I got no way to prove it. But I think everybody's gone down too many rabbit holes.
Um,
Don't get me wrong. I'm really strong on this Kylie thing. What I meant by that is everybody start going back to the beginning and looking again.
yeah, and for me, I can't handle the negativity and the trauma that came along with it. Like, that's just not my personality. So that's another reason I stepped away from it.
Well, I think there's a lot of powerful people. I think what their mission is, honestly, is the closer you get or the better you get, they're like divide and conquer. So we'll get rid of this woman. So say Jane had a channel, and she does a lot of investigations, and say Judy had a channel, and say Joy had a channel. Well, they don't want us together sleuthing. They want they want to divide you, get rid of you, find your weak spot so you'll stop talking about this Kylie thing, even get you off the air if that's possible. And I have a personal opinion of what happened to Kylie.
I think we all have our own opinions and our own theories, and I mean, I definitely don't think it was an accident, and they can tell us all day long that it was.
Well, let me
I
see.
don't think we're ever going to be able to prove what happened. Just because it's too deep for us.
Well,
and
for
you're
instance,
crossing lines that I'm too scared to cross.
yeah, but for instance, when this all happened, of course, everybody jumped on the fact of Jay. You know what I mean?
I didn't.
But listen, I'm just trying to get a point here. Everybody tried, I think kind of was led by the obvious, what they thought was the obvious. What happened?
Sorry, I accidentally clicked over.
Oh.
You're good. Y'all are still good. Like, even if I'm not, if I fall off, you guys can still talk.
And you can't have something happen to someone too close to the time it's going to happen, or just like this case, how they jumped on Jagger and how they jumped on all these people for what they are thinking is, well, this is how it's got to be. But I think there's somebody even more diabolical that had to have something happen to her that couldn't be close to the time that this happened, or they would all attack that person. You get what I'm saying? And I think what I'm trying to say is she was about to inherit that lodge, which meant everybody at the lodge, she would now be the boss of. So we'll just say people are working at the lodge are looking at this going, we don't want her to inherit this lodge. This is our lodge, say. So they couldn't have something happen to her about the time she would inherit it, because then everybody would put that together. So I think this was purposely done to her, far enough away from that happening so that the real person that did it wouldn't be a suspect. Does that make any sense in your head?
It does. I mean, like, for the most part, everything makes sense in my head. But,
like, for instance, the day that the party was, wasn't it her parents or whoever she was with allegedly, weren't they camping around that area? And they left that, I think that's, can't remember who said it, but they left that area that day that she went missing.
oh, they went to the car show in Reno. Hot August nights is where
Right. They weren't in town.
Well, Reno is like right there, so they technically were. I mean,
Okay, I think it all boils down to this. If that was your kid, you'd tore up that town.
Oh yeah, but
if it was my kid,
some people
has no fury.
Some people are not that kind of parents. I think it's weird, but others don't.
I don't know. There's just something about the fact that she was going to inherit that lodge, and the fact that she was trying. They're saying, I don't know if anybody proved this yet. Did anybody prove that she was trying to become emancipated?
I haven't seen any proof.
So I guess what I'm thinking is, if it was true, I wonder if her inheriting the lodge would happen quicker, because she's no longer considered a child, right?
She's still a child.
Well, she just turned 17, so she's still.
She was 16 when she went missing. So.
Aaron and Odds and Michael, thanks for joining in tonight.
Oh yeah, and the lodge was up for sale, so she wasn't inheriting it. Thank you, Dee. I forgot about that.
The lodge went up for sale after she went missing, didn't it?
Up for sale months before.
Oh, really?
And then they took it down, and it went up for sale again. Then they took it down again.
Well, There's just little things in my head that bug me, like,
Hold on 1 second. Let me talk. Let me say hello to some of these people in the chat. Michael, I agree with you. Like, anybody is welcome to continue on with Kylie, and I'm supporting those that are still carrying on with Kylie. Like,
Absolutely.
I just feel for me and my platform, I don't want to just cover Kylie. There's so many missing, and there's
you're
so many
absolutely.
that deserve just as much focus. Because if it was my child that went missing at the same time and was not getting any focus, I wouldn't be as nice as I normally am. I promise y'all that. I'll just leave it at that. Odds, Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us. Face of America is always good to see you. Aaron, I hope that you and Lily, did she have a good Christmas? Did she get everything she wanted? Love you, girl. They went to the car show. It definitely felt odd. I can see it truly hurt a lot of people's heart when hearing what happened to her. Yes, Aaron, I will be here. I will not be going anywhere this week. And you guys, I want to go ahead and tell y'all. Okay. So the pharmacy was closed yesterday and today. And so that's 2 days without my antidepressant. And I'm already getting brain zaps. So tomorrow I will be really sick until it gets back into my system.
Oh, wow. That's too bad, huh?
Like, I've been fighting it all afternoon. And it didn't help that I went and took like this long nap today. Like, I went to bed. I went and laid down at 10 o'clock this morning and did not get up to almost 4.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe you needed it.
I did. Foxy's in the house.
Hey, Foxfire.
Cody, I need tea. Hold on, you guys. I gotta go refill. My husband is not down here, so I have to get up and do it myself. Oh, I will get them tomorrow. I'll get my medicine tomorrow, you guys. Like, I try to never miss a dose, but sometimes you miss a dose. This time was completely out of control. Like, I didn't realize that they would be closed on Christmas Eve. I just thought Christmas Day. But I was wrong. You guys, please hit the like button, share the love. Remember,
Yeah, if you could hit that like button, please. Subscribe, ring the bell. Mods, if you are in chat, if you can grab the link and copy it and post it again. Anybody that wants to come up, you're free to come up, and we're just chit-chatting. Just having some together time on Christmas here, so feel free to come on up.
Are the airports back open again?
It depends what area. I think they're open here in Florida, but I don't know about Chicago or anything like that.
Yeah.
I know Tennessee had some cold weather that was impacting things. But I don't know about the airports.
Well, it's cold as the dickens here, but we didn't get hardly no snow.
Where are you at, Judy?
Vermont.
Oh yeah, you can cold weather there.
I'll stay.
I'm sure it's beautiful though.
It was only cold for a couple of days.
Yeah, that's why my name is Judy VT.
Oh, gotcha. See, there you
go. So, I have a question for everybody.
All right.
Oh, Aaron, they do end up with you. Too bad that, I know. So, Aaron, you guys, is a very long-term friend of mine. And I'll just say that she works for a very good prison system on, and she may be a little bit higher up on the death row inmate section.
Yeah, I'm a retired correctional officer.
Well, thank you both for doing that work. That's a tough one.
I wasn't telling where you were at.
Who?
But Aaron felt the need to let y'all know where. I try to protect us. Try to be careful.
Well, we don't have in the state of Vermont a death row area, but
What? Why not?
because we don't have
They
the
don't have
death
death row.
penalty.
Mhm.
Well, most of the ones on death row aren't getting the death penalty. They don't get executed.
Yeah, they do. As
Yeah, they
long after
They
they,
just spend life on death
yeah,
row.
they can because they're in legal mitigation. But once you exhaust that,
Yeah.
you're on death row, sentenced to be put to death.
Mhm.
So I was glad we didn't have that because, boy, you think about it. You tell somebody that they've exhausted everything and they're on death row, boy, it'd be hell to pay. They don't care what they do or how they act or who they hurt because what's it going to hurt them? So their incentive is gone to behave, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Aaron, I know
Thank you
that's
for
tough work,
chiming
so
in.
thank you.
You are always welcome to chime in. Merry Christmas, Susan. It's good to see you guys. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. For me, there's just so much negativity around the Kylie Rodney case that I just don't. I don't want to.
Hey, Susan. Good to have you here.
I don't know. I just.
You got to do what you got to do. It's your show.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, like I just, y'all know that I'm all about trying to find the positive, and I when I was covering the Kylie case, it was constantly somebody harassing me, stalking me, talking crap about me. Like I just
That's right. And they got
making
you to pretty
videos on
much,
me, and
that's what
I
they wanted to do, was get you to shut up about it.
Mhm.
that's and I didn't necessarily shut up about it. I just made myself more useful, I guess is the Kristen helped me with words. I don't know.
Well, I think it's she gave more energy. She's giving more energy to the other kids right now, and that doesn't take away from Kylie's case whatsoever. It's she knows that the Kylie's case is in good hands for those that are continuing to cover it. And like Michael said, just wants justice for her, and that's fine. Um, so it allows Michelle to continue to support those creators, but also give a little bit more time to some other kiddos that just aren't getting that coverage. So
And that's, it appears to me, is that's what's on your heart.
yeah.
So you got to go with what's on your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I added that candle video to. I'm still working on it. It's. I got. I probably won't get it finished tomorrow, but hopefully Tuesday I'll have that video finished. Because tomorrow we are supposed to be going and taking the kids to shoot their guns that they got, and teach them how to target practice.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and I agree with Foxfire. It's getting more behind these crimes, like what you're trying to do, Michelle, instead of being in front of it at this time. Because so I put to this way, and it's kind of like your friend Erin. It's kind of like Judy and the work that we did. I mean, we were committed to the work that we did as government employees or whatnot, and fighting for the good cause. And when you step away from that, I mean, for me at least, I'm going to say, I was like, is the job going to continue to be done effectively? And I think what Michelle's doing is to say, I believe that the people that are covering it will do just fine, and I
Right.
will continue to support them. And that's the best thing she could do for her emotional well-being as well. Is the best way
And
to
I
put
will
it.
celebrate, you know, when justice is served, I will celebrate that.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, because I was here in the beginning of the case, and I did have, you know, a role in it at one point. So
I think that if within a reasonable amount of time, okay, there is a conclusion to this case, I think the conclusion is going to be mind-blowing. I think that it's just going to be pow, you know, really. It's all going to make sense, but I just really think it's going to be mind-blowing. But if this goes on for another year, I don't know how mind-blowing it's going to be.
and Foxfire has a point. You know, we do gain different, you know, as you go through. I mean, you're thinking this has been since August. Your perspectives change.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and it's that way with any case. Like, um, for me, it was when, you know, okay, pulling me into it is one thing, you know, making your videos about me is one thing. But then when you start going at innocent people who have nothing to do with it, who are just in a chat room and calling people out for that's when I was like, okay, this is not okay. This is no longer okay. It is not about Kylie at this point, and I don't want to be involved in a case where you have to tear other people down to get your views.
Well, there's a very fine line between digging because you want the truth and you're trying to help, and the other side of the fine line is, I want to be the one to announce it. I want to have the clicks. I want to be famous. I want to do this. So I don't think they're in this for the right reason, some of these people. But the people that are, I can read people pretty well, so I can tell within a couple shows, do I want to continue watching this person? You know, because I think that everybody that's being effective, it's on their heart.
Right. Thank you, Dee. And yes, you guys, if you haven't joined our Facebook group for Bring Madalena Home, that is the case that we are currently covering. That case is about an hour and a half from my home, and
What's
an 11-year-old going missing in you know, sometime I guess in the middle of the night, you know, just and not reporting her for 22 days. Just that there's issues, and that's the thing that I want to cover, those type of things. We did Quentin, we followed it, and we're still following it, and I will be going to Savannah for those court hearings, because that
Right there with
Quentin case
you.
just like, I was hardcore into the Kylie case, but Quentin's case just consumed me, and Madalena's case has now consumed me. um the last 2 days, I've not been able to get that child off of my mind. Like, if there's quiet time, she's the person I'm thinking about, because I'm sitting here and I'm enjoying my wonderful luxury lifestyle, and this child, we have no clue where she's at.
Do you? I'm not. I am familiar, but I'm not. Do you believe she left of her own free will?
No, I don't think she left of her own free will. Why, if that was the case, why would the parents not report it? If she had left on her own free will, they would have said, hey, she's a runaway. Um, and it's not every day that 11-year-olds are running away. You might see 16, 17-year-olds running away, but 11-year-olds is not something you see every day. Oh, I'm going. I will go, and that, and Kristen's going to come join me. And then we've got the whole, that's right there where my son is stationed. So I'll get extra time with him. And then I think my nephew, we were talking tonight, my oldest nephew, he's got some classes that he has to take in Savannah around possibly the same time. So
Where's your son stationed?
he's in Georgia, right outside of Savannah.
So what is that, Fort Benning? No.
I can't disclose that.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, my first
No,
husband
but
was
Fort
we were in
Benning,
the military, so.
He did his training at Fort Benning. That's where he did his training. That's where he spent the first 6 months of his military career. And then the second 6 months was stationed outside of the U.S. because he was on the border waiting to see if anything would happen. And thank God nothing happened during the time he was there, and nothing has happened since.
Well, I don't know if you'll tell it, but what's his MOS?
Oh, he's a Calf Scout for right now. He's doing some soul searching. Oh, he just walked in the door, I think. Fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just walked in the door.
Huh?
We were talking about you. They were asking questions about you. Oh, Easton's medicine. I thought you'd went by your Aunt Casey's and got me some. I should have told you while you was out over that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure this case will be covered, you guys. So that's why Michelle and I want to just,
Yeah, I don't believe
see
it'll
what
be.
we can. Yeah, see what we can do when
Aaron
we're
said,
on break, when we are on breaks or afterwards to break it down. But for you guys, and you'll get two different perspectives. One from Michelle, and then mine will probably be more the legalese kind of stuff and try to break that down for you guys. So, we'll give you the most well-rounded breakdown we can give you, and we'll promise to try to behave the best we can.
That will
I
be
will behave.
fun.
I'm not going to spend 10 days in the Savannah, Georgia jail for contempt of court. I will behave.
Yeah.
I do not look good in orange. So
Oh God, no.
When I'm going to go to the court case when they do Quentin's court case. That's not place. I know that's your place. Maybe my bond won't be that bad.
Oh, stop it.
Me out?
Don't even think about it that way. Just go and be a good girl and consider yourself privileged that you're watching it.
Yeah.
I will. I'll behave. I'll be taking my notes. Don't y'all worry. I'm not going to say that she won't get some looks, because I'm sure she'll say something stupid and I will be like, so I have a question, like off subject. When does everybody take their Christmas decorations down? Like, what is y'all's tradition for your Christmas decorations?
In our family, we used to wait for Epiphany to happen. So, and we all got an Epiphany gift. But since I'm not not near my mom and haven't been for years, like locally living by her, we just kind of let that tradition go. That's something that she did. So typically I'll break it down, usually in the first few days of January at the latest.
So Katie Bug says after the new year. Okay.
Or you can do what I did. Don't put nothing up, and when people come into your apartment, you just go, I beat you out.
What are you still up? Huh? Why are you still up?
I mean, and
Uh,
I know plenty
hi,
of people
Blind.
that'll take it. I know plenty of people that'll start taking theirs down tomorrow. You know, my kids just like it up for at least for the next week, and then I'll start to take mine down. So, see, Susan waits till after her birthday in the middle of January. So yeah, everybody's kind of different. Now the Christmas lights outside, I will have to say they didn't come down until March of last year.
Okay, the reason that I was asking was because growing up, my family did it to where it was after the New Year.
Mhm.
But several years ago, someone told me that we were doing it wrong because you take it down before the New Year because you don't take the old in with the new. So that's what I've done for like the last 7, 8 years. I don't remember how long really, but I'm just estimating. Um, so I was just like, and my dad we was talking about it today, and he was like, "No, that's not right." And I'm like, "But it makes sense. What if we've been jinxing ourselves all these years?"
You're supposed to take the tree down right before Christmas Day. That way, there's no presents under the tree. There's just presents.
Well, I've never taken it down before Christmas.
Well, it's kind of like you just do it when you're comfortable with it. Like my family always did it on my birthday, which is January 2nd. And I always felt, well, this is ridiculous, because my birthday's important. Why don't you leave the tree up at least? Or, you know what I mean? Because I thought it was pretty. But you're only talking about Christmas decorations.
So my parents, y'all, this is the truth because Blind just said this. He keeps his tree up all year long in the closet. So my parents now, what they do is they just wrap the Christmas tree up and they take it upstairs to my old bedroom. Because my old bedroom is now a free for all room.
Well, I have a great idea and never did it.
Storage.
If
And
you have a small Christmas tree, all right.
oh, bud.
Cash wanted to say Merry Christmas.
Cash.
He's been torturing his sister.
She ate a whole box of jalapeno poppers.
But anyway, my idea was so that you didn't waste the Christmas tree that cost you maybe quite a bit, is that you put red and white lights on it for Christmas or whatever the hell is your pleasure, and then you just take the lights off and don't light it up, and then you go over on Amazon and you find yourself some pink or red decorations, and you put those on the tree for Valentine's Day, and then and then you
A
take
lot of
those.
people do that.
And then you take those lights off and you get some of those pastel lights for Easter or whatever the hell we're going into. So you could literally have a 4th of July tree. You could keep, if you just wanted to keep playing dress up with your Christmas tree.
My husband did that in college. Like they put little shamrocks on the tree, and for every holiday that there was,
Yeah.
left it up all the time.
Love you too, girly. No, that tree's coming down because it's been in my way and it's been blocking half of my TV for
Well,
weeks.
I said in the beginning of the conversation, a small Christmas tree, not a big, huge one in your living room. That would get sickening.
Foxfire, thank you. He is gorgeous. He's Princess Forensic's dog. He's a year old. So tomorrow would be the anniversary of us going and driving between Tennessee and Florida and grabbing him last year. So yeah, he's just a little doll.
So, Kristen, how bad did they shed? They look like they would shed bad.
They shed, but it's a different kind of like for us it's like not on the furniture. The shedding is just like we'll find a pile of hair in the corner and then you just vacuum it up. So if it's not on my clothes and it's not on my furniture, I have a whole lot better time with that. But Aussies, they tend to have like a couple coats there because the other dog's super fluffy right now. So yeah, they do have a lot of fur, but the shedding, you would think they'd shed more, especially with the one that's in Florida full time, but she doesn't shed that bad.
I know. I wished my sunroom, or I have a screened-in back porch that I wished was like closed in with like glass, so it could be warm, year round. I
Mhm.
need to get one of those outdoor heaters, because that's my favorite place out there.
My father and mother did that. They had a big glassed in front porch, and he got a heater because he was hard to get off the porch when it get cold. He had a heater, and it was a heater / air conditioner.
Yeah, my Christmas tree is flocked. Um, y'all want to know a story about flocking a Christmas tree? So, about 3-4 years ago, I wanted a flocked Christmas tree. But I didn't want to buy a new Christmas tree because I loved my Christmas tree at the time, the tree that I had at the time. It was in those gigantic trees. And so I decided, since I loved my tree, I was going to flock it myself. So, go get all the stuff to flock this Christmas tree. I had to throw that Christmas tree away. It didn't get flocked, but like this much of the bottom, like around the whole entire bottom, that much of the tree was about all I could take. And I said, never mind. And so I got my tree, the flock tree now. And then I have one that I normally put up upstairs. I just couldn't get it together this year. I did not decorate to my normal standards by any means. But I have my granny's Christmas tree that we had when we were growing up, and it's still as beautiful as it ever was. And
I want to see if these work.
I know what?
Do you have like a
Use the one on the. Just plug the internet back up. You use that. So that's how I got my tree that I have now. And then that was the year I changed my decorations. And I used to change my decorations like every year, every 2 years. And I've been in love with the plaid every year for the last 4 years. That was probably about, like, I used to be into like more of like the bougie style Christmas decorations and house decorations, like classy, elegant type. And then I got into the farmhouse style, and that's where we're at. Like my
You
house,
found your niche.
yeah, the farmhouse just it's an upscale farmhouse style, I guess. I don't know.
You've got a farmhouse tree that would go on Hallmark.
I used to. What's those trees? What are the ones that are on Hallmark Channel? Come on, y'all. Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
You
Oh
mean
my
the
God, I hated the tinsel, the angel tree. I mean, the angel hair. Oh my God. And my aunt still puts popcorn on her tree, and like my aunt could have like a beautiful Christmas tree, but she makes it tacky, and I can't. Oh, I can't do it. Can't do it. Can't
but
do it.
that's what she likes.
I don't care. I can't do it. I can't. I can't.
Just don't look in that direction then.
Can't. I don't. I don't go over there.
Oops. I guess Erin had to go to bed. So good night,
She
Erin.
did. She has to be at work at 0400, and she's about an hour drive. She'll come over Wednesday, and maybe we can do a live with her and the prison system.
Oh, I'd like that.
Okay.
Flair's gonna come up. Hello, darling.
Hello, ladies.
Merry Christmas,
Where's
hon.
Wheezy?
Merry Christmas. I can't stay away from you girls. I don't know. I was texting to her earlier today.
I texted her
She's
earlier today,
probably
and I don't think she
spending
ever
time.
responded.
She didn't
I
respond to
don't
me
know.
when I texted her.
She was
Oh,
saying,
she never did.
it was early on in the day though. It was just like wished her Merry Christmas and that kind of thing. Nothing She's probably just relaxing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's a hard day for a lot of folk.
I told my kids, you have the Christmas tree. My depression was just too bad that I just could not. It's a miracle I put the tree up, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah, I think it's been a tough year for everybody. I know this week I'm going to be doing a lot of introspection, going into hermit mode and kind of meditating and trying to, like, I don't know, really put my intention on what I want the next year to be, because I want to kind of go into
yeah,
next year with as much positivity as I possibly can.
that
There's so
is what
much,
I mean.
yeah.
That's my plan, and I plan to work on some healing.
Yeah,
I mean, I
exactly.
have some things that are weighing me down, and
Mm-hmm.
I can't carry them into the new year because
No, we got to drop what don't serve us. What doesn't do us good. Like, I tell this on my channel all the time. It's like we walk around with suitcases and we don't notice the things that fall out of our suitcases that we have to pick up, look at, and hold space for and say, okay, why am I looking at this? Sometimes we just shove it back in a pocket and deal with it later. And other times, we pick it up and look at it. But I think that's how life is, in general. And sometimes, the universe just pushes things in your path to look at, whether you want to look at them or not. And I feel like that was my experience with the true crime community.
I'm
Like you,
not gonna
I
sit here and pretend it's been like a cakewalk because I did
oh god,
not know. I had no clue that YouTube streets were like they were.
same. And you know what? I was gonna start
Like
my
y'all
other
could have at
channel.
least gave me a few years before you come at me. You didn't even give me a
Yeah.
few weeks.
Yep. It's it can be quite toxic, I've come to realize. But the thing is I think everybody's in it for the right reason. They all have their own heart invested, and
Sure.
some people aren't. I'm not saying they all are, but I think the majority of us want to get things. We don't want to turn a side face to it. We want to look at it and say, okay, this is happening. Like, let's see what we can do. Let's get the name out. Let's promote the word, so this little girl or little boy or young teenager can be found, hopefully safely. And sometimes they are, and sometimes they're not. When they're not, it's heartbreaking. And I think some cases we hang on to longer than we should because we want to see an outcome. We want to see something that's not as vague as they, the media gives it to us as, right? So we dig and we dig and we dig, and sometimes we get lost in it. I think I got lost in it because my perspective, I think, was muted because I did a lot of observation and not enough, I think, thinking on my own. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's besides the point. Other things too. All of our lives, everyone has their thing they're carrying around with them and they gotta look at. And so, we all got our stuff, right? And yeah, so I think next year is just, I think next year is going to be a really peaceful year for a lot of people. I think we're going to try our best to, walk into the new year with a open and warm heart and with love and positive thoughts and, hope for the best, like we do every year. But I
Well,
just came on to say hi.
I think in this community though, the thing that I've just sat back and observed is that there's a lot of people with good hearts in it, and they want resolution quickly. And it's just so hard to have that patience to wait for that outcome. It's like we want to know, like right now, what happened to the Idaho 4, but in due time it will come. I mean, I was just telling Michelle, there's a case here in Florida of baby June that was in Boynton Beach. She was put in the inlet. She was found 2 days after she was born, and it took 4 years to find her mom.
Oh my god.
And they found it through the same means as what so neither parent was in CODIS. So the way that they found it was doing the genealogical, like the tree, so that they could find out who the parents were and what happened to this child. Just the same as it's the same mechanism that they use for the dog with the Golden State Killer.
Okay.
How they found his daughter, and then that led to finding him.
You know
ultimately.
what? It's so funny you brought that up because I was watching a clip that came out recently about JonBenet Ramsey.
Mhm.
That was my first
Oh, that was one of my
true crime. Yeah,
Mhm.
I just couldn't let go of that. And because at the time there wasn't YouTube, so I was younger. There was just television media. All these television networks and things like that, unsolved mysteries, all that kind of stuff. But I think they're coming out with DNA now that they may have a suspect, like an actual suspect that they can look at. And I think
Yeah.
that we may see something come of that this year coming.
Yeah.
That's a little inside prediction. But yeah, no, it's true. We all have that one case, but like, with YouTube for me and like for Michelle and probably for a lot of us listening, it was Kylie. And, my heart goes out to her and the whole situation. But I think,
True.
like you said, we wanted results fast, and we all wanted to be keyboard warriors and get to the truth and find a
Mhm.
solution. And we still do, and we still am. Just because we're
Mhm.
not like on the front porch screaming at the top of our lungs doesn't mean we're not in the back room office doing what we can from behind, the scenes as well. So just to keep that
Right.
in mind for those that,
Mhm.
don't see us participating in a live about it, or, that kind of thing. Like, we're still trying to find a way to get to the truth and find out what's what. And again, sorry, and, learn to be a bit more patient with these cases as well. So
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
really hard because we just, we can't fathom what's happened to them to begin with. And then
Hmm.
we're like, okay, we've got to, we want to put this puzzle piece together, and it tells the
That's
whole
just it.
thing,
That is
and it's
exactly
just,
it. A puzzle. The more
yeah.
puzzling the case is, the more deeper I get. Like, that's how my mind works. Like, I'm a puzzle
Mhm.
solver, but I want to figure these things out. I want to
Sure.
take it apart and put it together. And there's so many people like that. So I feel like sometimes perspectives can get lost in that. And
Sure.
yeah, sometimes you do have to go to the beginning and watch it all over again and look at things differently
Yeah.
and whatever. But at the same time, you sometimes can lose yourself, because then you don't you it's like you have blinders on, like you can't see other people's perspective or hear their voice. You only hear your own,
Mm.
or you can
Uh,
see someone representing themselves in that way, right?
so
And you're not being heard, kind of
for
thing. So
me,
it's kind of both ways.
I had went back to the beginning twice. I
Mhm.
cannot go back to the beginning and go through it all again.
Mhm.
Personally, I can't.
Mm.
Just
Mm.
it just
Yeah, but this case, Kylie, I mean, they threw so many stink bombs in the case. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You got
and
Yeah.
you.
honestly, I'm gonna say I don't think that they did. I'm gonna say I think it was social media. Um,
Mhm.
and looking back over other cases, I mean, like
No.
it's not just the Kylie Rodney case that it happens
No,
in.
it's so many. Like,
It's every case that somebody covers that gets big. That
yeah, like look
the
at
false
Quentin.
narratives start. People
Yeah.
run with that. Then it
Yeah.
becomes an argument because it's not
Yeah.
truth and it was just put out there for,
Yeah.
you
What
can't
kind of
say, oh, well, this started from this person that's not even around. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody came up with that information and put it
what
out. Like
what
I
kind of candy is in that candy cane?
Reese's Pieces.
There you go.
Ooh, I got Reese's Pieces too. They're my favorite.
I just I just had to know what you were picking at because I was trying to guess.
I am eating Reese's Pieces like ET.
Yeah. But also too, I think a lot of us like look like, when we do our retrospective week, before the new year comes, I think a lot of us are going to sit and like look back at the year and say, "Oh my gosh, like so much has happened in one year." Like, we thought COVID was a lot. Like, coming out of COVID, I think was just as equally troubling. Like, you had people that were shut-ins that had a hard time resurfacing and becoming sociable again. And you had a lot of people who, suffered with all types of ailments that, made it worse during COVID and are struggling to, again, come forward and live a life that they barely got through in the first place. You know what I mean? And then you have people who loved being a shut-in and don't want to go back to the social life because it's less stressful. There's so many dynamics, that happened within the last year that I think, in the workplace and how that's changed. I mean, the world's forever changed. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
And it's never
So
going to go back to the way that it was. So I think a lot of us found some kind of meaning elsewhere. And I think for me, that was the true crime community, right?
yeah.
Um,
And
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how many companies discovered that you don't have to rent a big high rise
Building.
with offices
Yes.
when you can do it from home and get the same results.
And save hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Like, we had 2 buildings where I work. We only have one now, and it's barely filled.
And
Like, in
just
a
think of
day.
it, if you had Skype meetings or whatever, you only had to buy clothes for the upper half.
I see my pajama bottoms too, and I'd have my dress shirt on, and as soon as the meeting was over, I get back into my
That would be
pajamas and
me.
type away on my laptop. Yep.
Think of how
Oh
much
my.
money you
So,
saved there.
so
I
really
know
Oh
quick.
it,
yeah. I just put on a nice top and gave a deposition. You don't want to know what
right?
jammy bottoms I
It
was
was
wearing.
so, and I mean, like, come on, I know everybody did it. Like, that was the running joke. It was like, oh, I gotta get dressed today. Today's going into the office day. Like, you know.
I
Oh
think,
my.
and what you purchase, because people now bought different kinds of jewelry. They bought earrings and stuff. They didn't need to buy bracelets or rings because nobody was seeing it.
Mm,
I
yeah.
think
So,
the whole world changed with COVID. The whole
yeah.
world.
Absolutely. And not just like, not just the
And it
psychology
hasn't
of
went
it,
back
but
to normal
like
since.
the physical of it. Like, a lot of our, like, all of our bodies have changed. We're dealing with the changes that this vaccination or the non-vaccination or whatever happened in your body happened, right? Dealing with the fear of catching COVID still if you haven't had it yet, and the fear of catching it again if you had. So that's always going to be in the back of our head, right? So there's so many psychological things going on as a society, I think, as a global society in general, that kind of plays equally in the back of our head subconsciously on an everyday basis. And I think when you take that and look at that in perspective in relation to how you are living your
My
life and
cup
what
doesn't flow. And
pressures are
y'all,
there, with family and friends and, you know, I don't know, confrontations or non-confrontations, or like, having an argument versus not having an argument. I mean, there's just so many things thrown back at us socially and mentally that, I think it was a rough year to navigate through. I think that's, I guess, what the point I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, because I think when it first hit, everybody was saying by the new year this will all be over with, and it
Yeah, I
wasn't.
knew that wasn't I knew that wasn't true. I knew the
No,
first
you know what
three
I mean.
weeks.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't. And then they went, well, this year it's all going to be over with, and it wasn't.
Uh-huh.
So now we're
I
on this
knew that too.
year going, oh
it's
yeah,
over. So
This is
many
the new
people
world
did not
order.
get to have Christmas because people had COVID. It was
I
horrible.
know, and I
It
feel
hasn't
so
ended.
bad.
Things have not went back
No,
to normal.
no. In some countries it's very much worse. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and it's just, it's a horrible thing to think about if you really dive into it. If you've got a heart that goes there and thinks about, the things that we all think about. So, you know, it's heavy to carry all of these things every day through life. So we're bound to make mistakes. We're bound to say things we regret. And we're bound to get heated and upset during a case and freak out, or we're bound to stay quiet and listen and observe to see, when's the time to exit or when's the time to stay. Like, these are all things that I think we dealt with all year long with respect to friendships, relationships. People broke up that were married for 50 years, people that got stronger that were married for, 50 years. Like, it just, like, putting two people in a small room and sharing that space together really, really says a lot about who you are as people. And like, if you can make it through that, you can make it through anything, I think, looking back at
So
COVID.
really
But
quick, I want to come back to the chat really quick because
yeah,
I have kind of like forgot that they were over here.
sorry guys.
Not really, but so happiness. I mean, Kay, I think that our decorating styles are very similar because my one tree is also Victorian style with like the golds and or champagne gold type thing. And then, but I don't do the colored lights ever. You're not going to see colored lights for me. From me, I don't. They're not my preference. Um, I like white lights. I like the just simpleness of a white light on my Christmas tree. Um, and then Merry Christmas, Killshot. I hope you and yours had a wonderful Christmas.
Yes, Merry
And then
Christmas.
there was a comment that I did want to address. Oh, here it is. Claire Bear said, "Tragedy pimps laugh out loud." Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Y'all know I'm logical, and I think
Mm-hmm.
about everything and the
Mm-hmm.
whole situation, and I'm going to address this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it as tragedy pimps, because the ones that are doing these, that are making these channels to go at the tragedy pimps, most of the time are doing way more damage than those that are sitting behind a computer researching and finding answers or finding clues that, and why we have to get so bent out of shape of what somebody is doing on their channel. For, I mean, I'm guilty of it because I've wanted Cher, and I still will continue to voice my opinion about Cher, because for the simple fact that she takes the wrong side in these cases. And every case that I've covered, she gets in with the wrong side of it, and it turns into a mockery of these innocent children. And that's the kind of thing that, if you want to make a channel to go after people, that's the kind of stuff you need to go after. Going after people who are making money because people are donating, who cares? It's not affecting your pocket. You're just
Yeah.
spending
And
so much time throwing off negative energy for somebody that you don't even know.
yes, that's a good point, Michelle. Because honestly, like we all, as an individual, in our own mind, our own heart, in that moment,
Merry
feel
Christmas, Princess Forensics.
Merry Christmas. We feel that we're stepping into our own truth, and even like Cher, for example, may feel like that's her truth to represent the parents. Like, who
I
knows
don't
why
think
they
that
do it?
she
Like,
cares about the parents. I don't think
and
she
she
cares
may
about the
not. She
parents.
may
I
not.
think it
I don't
is,
know.
oh, well, this is an easy way for me to make money. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't know how anyone could say they care about the child and then become buddy buddy with the people who caused it to happen. I'm not protecting someone that took an innocent life for their own selfish needs, or was
yeah,
involved, or helped cover it up, or helped house the person who did
participated
it.
in any kind of
Like,
way.
no,
Yeah, I know.
I'm not. These adults have lived their lives how they chose to live their lives, but for you to put them out on this pedestal like they're somebody amazing, that they're these wonderful people, but yet a child died at their hands.
Yeah, that they were legally responsible for, mentally responsible for, emotionally responsible for. Being a parent is a privilege. It's not a right. That's the way I look at it.
For
And
me, it has done nothing but cause more problems. You have people like the Glare and Morbid, who has changed his name,
ugh,
by the way. And who else is it that does it? I don't know. There's so many, you guys. And they literally are steadily just pulling in the donations by talking crap about people who aren't, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong.
yeah,
I don't see them doing anything wrong. They're
productive.
doing, yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's their time, their energy, and their people, their subscribers. If they want to donate to them, they're not, if they're not sitting there begging for money. Like, I have the little button down there, the little cash button. Anybody can donate to me. I'm not going to sit here and beg for you to donate to me. By all means, I will definitely use it in my everyday life to provide for my children. A little cash here and there will not hurt somebody. But I'm not sitting here making a whole entire living off of being a YouTube creator either.
Yeah.
And I'm not out here wanting to be negative and dramatic and be involved in all kinds of drama. And
That's why I
I
like you,
want
Michelle. That's
positive.
why, yeah.
I want. If you're going to be in true crime, you need to find some positive, because these cases are so horrible. I mean, the reality of these cases is just the
It's
negativity
heartbreaking.
in itself.
It's so heartbreaking.
It is. It's heartbreaking. And then because somebody is trying to find answers for these innocent children, that makes them a target.
And represent them and give them a voice and make them,
right. But
still
they become
relevant.
targets, and then their subscribers become targets, and then
and then you
over
have
here
a
watching
YouTube
one
war
person,
between one
and
channel
then
and the
because
other.
that person
Exactly.
said something about somebody.
Oh, I
Who
know.
cares what somebody says on their channel and somebody's watching? Just because they're watching doesn't mean that they have to agree with what that person is saying.
Well, they chose to come in.
You have to agree to disagree, because nobody in the world is ever going to agree on the same thing. Never.
And here's the thing too. Like, this is what I don't get. If you don't like a content creator, myself included, don't come to my channel. Just go do your own thing. Leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. It's all good. Like, I stepped away, I'm doing my thing. I'm good. Like, I don't need to go back and see what's being said. Like, I just walked away, and I'll be
like
here
a
until
control
things
on
are
a
calm,
TV is. You just
until
keep
things are
changing the
behind
channel.
me, and then exactly, you just change the channels, flip it off, flip a switch. I used to watch this horoscope guy called he was so funny. I wouldn't say his name here, sorry, that's rude. But anyway, he was so funny, and he used to always say this thing. I wanted to get a T-shirt made up. It was called, "And if you don't like my channel, click off." Click off.
Right. Like, keep scrolling.
And that's how it should be. But it just seems like, I think it's because people are just so heated in the true crime world that they're already passionately, for something. And if somebody comes at them, it's like, well, how dare you, and then it just becomes a big back and forth stuff. And it just never ends because you don't stop and you don't stop. And if somebody don't stop and be the bigger person, it's just going to continue going on and on and on and on and on. Like, I've unsubscribed from channels that are constantly at each other's throats. Like, I don't want to watch that. That's not what I'm here for. To me, that's not entertainment. Like, I want to find out what's being done. I want to find out what the, updates are. I want to find out what I can repost and retweet and help with, yeah. So I think your point is very valid, Michelle. I do.
At the end of the day, we cannot change the world. And the way the world is going to hell in a handbasket if we're all being evil to each other.
That's right. I mean, I feel like it's already the second. I want to say this on the live, but I feel like we're in the end days sometimes, just from my Christian upbringing. I'm walking around thinking, is the sky gonna fall today? Because it's just been so much that has happened, and it's like, oh. But then you just get, when your feet touch the ground each day, you say, thank you for another day, to be alive, and thank you for the things that I have, and thank you, I'm so blessed, and the friendships I've made, and the people I can, proudly associate with, and step into the light and say, you know what? Yes, I'm your friend, and I don't care who knows about it. Like, I'm done hiding around the corner, afraid of what people are going to say about me. Like, that's not who I am. That's not who I was. And somehow that's who I became. And I didn't like that about myself. And I changed it. And if anybody's got a problem with my choices, like who I choose to forgive or what I choose with my life, well, that's not your business. Like, click off, go away. Like, you don't have to agree with me. Just like I don't have to agree with you. That's just how it should be. But, sometimes it's not always that way. And that's when you have to have discernment and, pick things.
Yeah. So Killshot says that he's learning who's going to be the bigger person right now. So
yeah, I hear you, Social.
And Killshot, you're a very, very logical person. You're very intellectual.
So logical.
So
absolutely.
You will get this when I say this. Okay.
Excuse me.
I am the type of person that I don't hold a grudge very well.
Neither do I.
I can't hold it for long. I don't care if you don't like me.
Mhm.
But I'm going to be the bigger person at the end of the day, because you're
Mhm.
not going to have that much control over my mentality to where I have to worry about what you think about me. And me taking the higher road
Absolutely.
and not participating in it, make sure that everybody in my circle and everyone around me is safe as well.
Mhm.
Now, if they go and do something on their own, that's on them. My name's not going to be attached to that. But I'm not going to be the leader of the pack that
Mm.
causes.
It's not your circus.
Right,
No,
not
it's
my
not.
circus, not my monkeys. But
Mhm.
I I cannot personally be okay with poking the bear per se, I guess.
I don't know. I think when it gets on a personal level, that's not okay. And I think
Yeah,
when you get angry
like
enough that you make it personal, you need to step away. That's just, because words can be very hurtful,
words
and
are
not
very.
everybody is as forgiving as some people are. And, I take great pride in the fact that I can forgive. I may not forget about it. It's always going to be in the back of my mind, wondering, is this person going to say this shit about me again? Like, I don't know. But if I don't forgive this person, then what kind of a person would I be if then when I look up to ask for forgiveness and I'm begging God for someone to forgive me? Well, I can't ask for forgiveness if I didn't forgive somebody else. That's just how I live my life. It's like I try to be an example of who I would expect others to be of me. Like, teach, I don't know, do unto others as they would be unto you, whatever that is in the Bible. Like, I'm bad at the scriptures. I don't remember them now, but
Right.
you know what I mean? It's just being about being a good person, creating positivity, making change. If you find error in your ways, like I found error in my ways and I stepped away from it, and, I held that in my space and I looked at it and I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to change this. I don't like this. I don't like who I'm becoming. I need to step away. And so that's what I did personally. I didn't step all the way out. I just stepped out of the circus. Right. And I think that's what a lot of people have a hard time doing, because they think that if they step out of the circus, then they're going to be judged that they're stepping out of the case, and that's not always what happens. That's not what's happening, right? For a lot of the time. So,
I just,
at least from my perspective.
I wish that everybody could get along.
Oh no! Why can't we all just be friends?
Hey, TF. I wish
Hey
I want to
everybody
guys.
say,
could get along at the
I
end of
want
the
to say,
day. I know
Michelle,
they're not. They're not going to get along. I'm going
Oh,
to
blind.
continue to be me at the end of the day. I'm going to try to find the good in each and every single person that I come in contact with, that I come across.
Preach. Preach.
I
Exactly.
just, I need people to.
You want people to lift you up. My father told me this a long time ago.
Yeah.
You want people to lift you up, not drag you down. You don't want people dragging you around. You want people to lift you up. If they go low, you go high. Like if you are, if you're in a situation and you need to look at it, then take, introspect. Why? Another one was ride the wave,
I see
because
my
sooner or
photo.
later the waves will turn into calm waters. And that's life. They go crazy, then they go calm. And they go crazy, and they go calm. Like sometimes it's okay to just sit on the island for a little while and drink coconut milk. In other words, you find your own oasis in life and try to make the most of it. But I hear you, Michelle. I think that, and I do understand what you're
Now,
saying.
I do
100%.
want to clarify. I get mad. I get very, very mad. You can ask Kristen. I get mad when things take a turn in a way that they should never have taken a turn.
Agreed. I get mad too at myself, and I get angry at the situation, and I get angry at people, and I shouldn't, but I do. But I don't hold that anger.
And
I try to let
I,
it go.
most of the time, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, most of the time, I'm like hearing things through the grapevine.
Same.
I'm hearing things through the grapevine, and I'm getting bits and pieces, and I just don't go and watch it. I just let everybody else just tell me. And then most of the time, the first few things that are told, I'm like, I can't with it. It's, I mean, are we trying to just spend so much time tearing each other apart, or are we going to try to make life and the world a better place?
Well, while you're tearing each other apart, you don't have your eye on the goal anymore.
This is it.
So, TF,
You get caught up in it.
So the lady, my kid's stepmom made it. She makes cups. So I guess they could be for sale, but this one is gigantic.
It's nice.
I would probably not want this size. I mean, it's huge. I don't even know. This is a 30 ounce. I'm sure she has 20 ounces.
Well,
that's what I was doing a while ago. Because it's supposed to glow in the dark. But
well, Michelle, I want to say thank you for letting me up. I have to step away for a little while. And my dog wants to go out, and we got, but I'll see you about some.
No, we're going.
Thank you, Judy, for coming up, and it's been a pleasure getting to know more about you.
Thank you.
Same. It's nice to meet you.
Yep. Stay safe, ladies.
And you
traded you as well.
For a 9.
Merry Christmas, Judy.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, blind. We're just talking about just in general, like how the year's gone by with the true crime community and how, like we've come to like see things through a different lens. Well, Michelle's been on this, like she's never changed. She's been the same from the get-go. Like, she's always been great. Me, myself, I was just saying how I, kind of found myself stepping out of my normal personality and, acting in a kind of way that I didn't like. And course correct it. That's all, basically, in a nutshell, and then hoping that we all go into the new year with, like positive hearts and open mindset and, to be forgiving and positive and that kind of thing. Yeah.
That's my goal.
For sure. Me too.
Like,
and Michelle, you'll get there. I know you were frustrated today, but you'll get there. It's just.
I still am.
But it's okay.
I missed a lot over the last 48 hours, so I don't know either.
I'm still mad about it.
But it's not. It's for. It's.
I mean,
it's okay to not give it more.
Earlier.
It's okay to not give negative things more energy than they already have been given.
You don't want to let them fester and grow.
So it's okay to take a walk outside in the freezing. That cold air will shoot you into a different mindset in a quick while.
Yeah, how cold did it get over there, guys?
I mean, it's in the 30s and 40s here in Florida, but
it's cold here.
But you'll get it. You'll get there, Michelle. It's just a process. I mean, I've had to learn through the years.
23 here.
But I just don't hold the things in because I got an ulcer at 17 because I worried about everything and everybody. And I've learned in the other parts of my years that, my give a damn button is busted. So I don't care. I don't put that much energy into it. Because it doesn't serve me. And if I can't,
it's not positive.
If I can't serve other people positively, then what's it about?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who is that? That's Chris. That's the one I like. Yeah, you like.
It doesn't make it right though, Kristen, and it's disheartening to hear that you're friends with good people that are getting shot at. But at the same time, I get where you're coming from because it's like, it hurts. But at the same time, you're like, okay, well, I can't hold this against this person. It's just going to make it worse for me in the long run because if I don't forgive this person, then I'm just going to hurt even more. So it's kind of like by forgiving other people, you're actually kind of healing too, right? So, and also not giving it legs to walk around as well by not giving it energy is really vital. That's what I've learned.
Side note, was that Fisher?
So,
Michelle?
That's awesome of you to say.
Hey, Fisher.
Hey.
What's up, son?
Sit with me.
I didn't mean to make it all heavy, you guys. I just came here to say hi. Look where.
No, it's whatever. So you're right, Foxfire. It's just if you don't give it energy, you don't give it legs. It doesn't go anywhere. So that's the best thing you can do. Is
you know what I remember? Okay, so my favorite horror movie
negative
was Freddy Krueger. Remember the Nightmare? What was it called? Nightmare on Elm Street, the very first one. And the scene where Nancy's like at the mirror and she turns around and she's like, "No, I'm not going to believe in you anymore. I'm not giving you any more of my energy." And then he disappears, right? Like that's how you kind of have to handle stuff in life because if you don't, it's just always going to give you nightmares and keep you up at night and cause issue and and it's going to hurt, and it's going to bother you, and it's going to bother others, and again, like, it'll just grow and grow and grow, and like, love grows just as much as hate does. It's from the same side of the spectrum, just different sides of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, love and hate is the same emotion. It's just a different point of passion on the spectrum of the line of things, right? Just like insults can be just as hurtful as something as loving can be just as forgiving, and you cry because it's tears of joy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know what I'm trying to say. I think I got lost off the tracks there. But anyway, I'm basically agreeing with you.
And I feel like, okay, so for me, like, getting attacked, for me getting attacked was just pure innocence. Like, I had literally not done anything wrong. So,
I didn't think I did either, but
well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
but I'm saying, like, I'm talking about with like Morbid's videos and stuff like that. Like, I literally had not. And he took something that was so precious to me and so hard for me,
Mm-hmm.
and something that I'm still
dealing with. Yeah, I know.
And aching from.
Yep, it's not easy to walk away from those feelings if it's very deep.
And for it to be turned into a mockery.
Yeah, that's not right.
That kind of hate for somebody that you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he never even, I don't think he even took the opportunity to like watch my videos to begin with. He just, let me just tear her up in this video on a horrible day. And it was so, it added so much
Unnecessary stress and hurt.
Mm-hmm. And pain, and made me question my own self.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not something that I do often, because I'm pretty confident in me as a person.
But sweetheart,
I'm not,
sweetie, that's what gaslighters do.
well,
Narcissists do that. They just,
Absolutely,
they can't
honey.
help it.
So for
I can't.
me, it was, I don't know, it was just an awakening, and I let it get to me, and the resentment that I had, I let that anger get to me. And at one point I was angry, and I would just lash out in my videos. And I had to take time and reflect, because I didn't like who I was at that moment, and my reactions and my actions that I was giving out into the universe.
Mm-hmm.
No, I am not one of those people that, you're one with the universe type thing. Don't go there. I'm not going there. I'm just saying.
That's why I like you.
But when
it's good to
I
have,
know that what I put out into the world is what's going to come back. And
yes.
I don't want to put out negativity, because that could come back on my children.
Mm-hmm.
That could come back on my family. And it
Mm-hmm.
did. In some
Absolutely.
ways, it did come back on my family. And that is not the values that I'm teaching my children or want to teach my children.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, because if
when they grow
mama
up,
is
they will
affected,
carry the values that mom has gave them. Absolutely. But they're going to grow into their own person. And I can only pray that what I've taught them is what they carry their ways, or the way they carry themselves. For me, we were always raised to be humble.
Mm-hmm. Same.
And find the blessings in disguise. Find the silver lining, if you need to look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Be proud of who you are and what you have and what you've worked so hard to accomplish.
Absolutely.
Have I been young and dumb and done idiotic things? Absolutely. And I still pay 20 some years later for those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when I lay my head down at night, I don't have a guilty conscience.
No,
I
same here,
don't,
girl. I
I
was just
don't,
thinking those same words.
I have not spent my day tearing somebody apart
Mm-hmm.
or saying harsh things that, I mean, don't get me wrong. You come at me wrong. You come at me in a way that you should not come at me, and you affect me in a way, I can cut you deep
Mm-hmm.
in the most satisfying way that you won't even realize that I insulted you. Because I'm careful with my words, but if you really listen, I did insult you. Like, I cut you down with words, and I don't even have to cuss at you. Like, ask my kids. Like, and it may be a Southern thing. I don't know. It's just growing up, my life lessons didn't come from my parents. They came from my grandparents. My parents my parents were amazing, but they weren't, when I was growing up, they had hardships where they struggled in who they were as the caregivers per se, or,
Mm-hmm.
managing money, which, we all, when we're young and have kids, it's hard to know how to manage money. So most of my life lessons came from my grandparents, who were, both of my grandpas were preachers. So both of my grandmothers were preachers' wives. So that was the love, you spread love, you spread kindness, you stay humble. Those are the kind of life lessons that we were raised with. And that is not the reality that we live in nowadays. So in order for me to continue those traits into the world, I have to teach my kids to have those traits.
Yeah.
And negativity can tear someone down and make them act in ways that they probably not normally would.
Excuse me. Yeah.
So some of
I
the
can vouch for
actions that I have
that.
seen through the
Yeah.
YouTube streets, some of the actions that I have seen came from being hurt by someone else's words or someone else's actions or someone else's videos.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, when they are in that mindset and they retaliate,
Well, then it
hurts
becomes a ping
more
pong
people
match.
than is
Yeah.
actually involved.
Mm-hmm. But you know what though? All those things considered, I just wanna say to chat, like, I've seen a lot of you in a lot of channels, like a lot of channels, and you have all been so lovely in every single like room that I've never heard negative comments. I've never heard crappy things said, or agreeing with this person and then disagreeing on the other channel behind their back. Like, you've been true to yourself, and I respect that. As long as you're true to who you are, and you shine, and you stand in that truth, and you're proud of who you are as a person and as a human being, because we're all human, we all make mistakes. We're going to make more mistakes. That's how we learn, that's how we grow as people. So I just want to say I totally respect that. And I respect that about you, Michelle, because that's what I've noticed about you as well through this whole entire experience, is that you have been somebody who has been like the steady, kind of, even though, I'm sure, like you said earlier, you've had personal challenges that you had to deal with, but it's kind of like you've stayed true to you. And I think that's amazing. And a lot of the chat as well. Just want to mention that because I respect
And
that so much.
so
Even though deep
kill
down you're
shot,
probably like, you
the
want to
kill
say a bunch
shot,
of terrible things.
I will have to say, if you were to ask me, you can ask blind what I'm going to tell. If you were asking me, what I would tell you would be, move on. Because is it going to do more damage in the end? It's just going to continuously be a circle that doesn't end.
Exactly.
Like, you can have your opinions and you can feel the way that you feel about certain people or other people or whatever. But at the end of the day, is it really affecting your life? I mean, I had to do this. I had to reflect. Like, is it really affecting my life? Because at the end of the day, my bills are still paid. I still have lights on. My house payment is paid. My car payment's paid. My gas bill is paid. My cell phone bill is paid. I got too many. I got too many bills.
Yeah,
But they're
and we're
all
all
paid,
learning.
and I can still, if there's something I want, most of the time I still have enough money to go and get what I want or save up for something that I want. You know, my kids need something. I have it right then and there. I don't have to. There was times where I had to go and ask my parents for money, and it killed me to have to ask my parents for money. And I paid them back, but still, my asking anyone for help is really, really hard for me. It's just not one of those things that I can easily do. Like, I will put things off until the last minute just to try to do it on my own before I have to ask for help. So at the end of the day, those people's words, those people's feelings about me aren't affecting my life.
I was just gonna say that earlier too, Michelle. Like, I sat back one day and I was like so angry and sad. And I was like, why did this person come at me sideways? What did I ever do to this person? Like, I was nothing but supportive. Like, I don't understand what's happening, right? And then I think a week went by and I still didn't get any answers mentally. And, I was being iced out of conversations with this person. And I thought, okay, well, I guess that's what that is. That's okay. I'm walking away. And I did. And I thought, like, why was I even upset? Like, because I don't think I'd be friends with this person in the real life. Like, Michelle, I know I'd be friends with you in real life. Like, if I go
Damn
and
right
travel
you
to
would.
Carolina, I'm coming and knocking on your door and say, hey girl, let's go for coffee. Like, there are certain
I
people in
got the
chat
bottle
that
of wine in the refrigerator
I'm
as well.
telling you, like, and Wheezy, it's like I already told her I'm going to visit her in Tennessee when I go see my friend Desiree. So there are people that you're like, if you're not going to be friends with these people in real life, if they don't bring any kind of value to you, or if you don't bring value to them as a human being in a positive way, then just cut the tie and move on. Like, that's the biggest lesson I've learned. And I've had to do that with even friends in my own personal life too, which was very difficult. Toxic people, right? That you think because I'm so humble, because I'm so forgiving, I'm also a doormat. Like, I allow it to happen. So I respect people who have like a strong will to be like, okay, I'm not putting up with this. I'm not forgiving you for this because it's harsh and it's hurtful and it's not okay until you learn your lesson. Me, because I'm so forgiving, like I had become a doormat to a lot of people. And, I'm this past year, I've learned to set boundaries, and that's hard to set personal boundaries on your own self? Oh Lord.
So
I mean,
I
listen. Listen, Linda.
I
It's
still
tough.
have that tendency to let people walk all over me because I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
But I have learned over the years to say no. Um,
That was the thing I learned this year was no. That was the biggest one. I'm telling
for
you, like,
me, I think that learning to say no started years ago, and each year I've gotten better at saying no and standing for myself. And um,
and it feels good, right?
like, if I can tell my
Like,
children no, I should be able to
that's,
tell random adults no.
yes. I didn't see anything last night social. It was Christmas Eve and I stayed out of it. I actually haven't been watching anything aside from Michelle's channel and
I didn't watch
Kristen's
anything.
channel um over the last little while just because oh well
And I
I've
showed
I've checked your
earlier.
channel social and Megan's channel, but that's basically it. Like, I don't really go over that other side of the fence just because I'm still, I don't want it to affect me in a place, like I'm not really over it yet. So I just kind of want to, like, I unsubbed and I did my blocking and I'm not going to participate. And I don't know if that's what you're talking about or if you're talking about Halloween weekend or whoever that is. I don't know. I just don't know anything that's
I
going
don't
on about
even
that
know
stuff.
who
I
Hello
can't
Weekend
speak to it.
is. That person didn't stay long.
No.
No, I didn't even watch Hallmark yesterday. Yesterday was
Like I think if you missed one
I
of your
went
lives,
live.
Michelle.
I went live yesterday. I did go live
Yeah.
yesterday. I got up yesterday, cleaned up, went live. Then I went to my family Christmas dinner, and then I came home and went to bed at a decent hour because we had to get up so darn early on a day off.
Yeah.
Sucks,
Right.
but, and then today I got up and we did our thing with the kids, and then we went to my mom's, and then I came home. And they made them take all their stuff to their room and get it out of my living room because it had to go. It was on my nerves.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So get it and take it out. Go hang your clothes up, because that's mostly what my kids got anyways, was clothes and shoes, physical things. And then they got their guns, and then they get their cruise in March.
Twilight. That's Noir. She said I was watching Twilight. That left my ass off. That's how far away I was.
So then I literally
Funny.
came home. They cleaned up. Was sitting here on the couch, and I was dozing. I was like, "No, I gotta go take a nap." So Cody said, "Well, I'll stay here on the couch, listen out for the kids because
Bless you.
thank you, because I have it to where you can't hear nothing, so I can sleep because I'm such a light sleeper. Like every little noise I hear, every little noise I hear, and it drives me crazy. So I have it. I have multiple fans going, so you can't hear. And I slept from 10 to like 3:30. And I ain't slept that. Like Fisher come in and woke me up and brought me in my cup. Thank you guys for the bless yous, Zoom tights. And I rolled over and went right back to sleep. I said, "Can you just go put it on the counter?" I rolled over and went right back to sleep. And at 3:30, I come downstairs and I said, "Cody, why didn't you come wake me up?" And he was like, "Well, why would I?"
Exactly.
Well, because you just let me sleep all day. That's why. Like,
It's all your
supposed
fault.
to be a nap. It was supposed to have been a nap, not an all night sleep. Like,
Yeah, I know.
and then
But
just
sometimes
like,
your body just
then
does
I
what it
was
needs to do.
sluggish, and we had another freaking place to go. We had to go to his family's, and like it was like
It's like
dragging me
Christmas
out
is
of the house.
exhausting. I know,
Yeah,
with all the family. See, for me this year was not stressful because number one, we all decided to do a no exchange gift policy because times are rough and we didn't want any added stress. Number
yeah, that was
two, my brother lives in another province, so his whole family was away from us. And then my other brother's home, but he was the first Christmas with his mom in like 5 years that he hadn't had work. So it was just kind of a quiet Christmas Eve with my son and myself, and then my neighbor for a couple hours and came home. And the next day, yesterday, was just me going to my stepmom's for dinner, and we were going to stay the night. But then, my son was like, "Oh, I want to go home," and I was like, "Yeah, I kind of want to be in my own bed." And then I got lost in the middle of nowhere. An hour and a half later, I finally get home. It was so stressful. And I hate driving at night, and I hate driving in the dark. And it was snowing, and I was freaking out, and I had like 3 panic attacks. I was going to pull over on the side of the road and call my stepmom to come get me. I was like so lost. I don't even know how I got lost because she lives far away from me. But anyway, point is that was just the only stress I had, and I thought I got away unscathed. But the fact is that you never get away unscathed when it comes to these types of things because it's just the way it is, I guess. I don't know. Christmas, Easter, you name it. Birthdays. It's just they're all stressful. I don't know why. Why do we make them so stressful? They don't have to be, but they just end up being that way. Kristen, how you doing, girl?
I know.
Walking away.
She fell
Where
asleep.
you at? Are you still here?
No, I'm here, but I just wanted to say I'm just super proud of all of you on panel and in the chat, and just recognizing where things are at in your life and where you need what you need to do to, I guess, move on, as tough as that may be, because you know instinctively we want to protect ourselves and we want to protect the people that we care about, and you know, and you know, Michelle knows that we did the personality test. I'm a huge defender. I'm a huge protector of people, but I have to know when I'm enabling people at the same time too. So I just have to learn to like make those conscious decisions and pick my battles. So, I think it's great that some things TF has said, there's some things that Social Experiment said,
Same.
TF
basically
TF was the one who do that.
Yeah, you need to find out what's right.
Personality test.
You need to
I
find
wanna
out
do it.
what's right for you in your life and coping. But as somebody who got an ulcer at 17, just trying to, take care of everybody in the world, life is too short to be doing these other things. Like if and I guess the reflection here, I'll give this to Killshot because he had the comment. If you reflect on it and the person or persons in life, I'll just say, not on the YouTube streets, just in life in general.
In general, yeah.
If it's not worth the battle, then it's time for you as a person who could have an impact somewhere else to go and do that somewhere else and not give that more oxygen, because it's not going to serve you, like Fox said. So I'm just super proud of y'all. It's it's not easy,
And
it's not comfortable,
it's
but
not.
it has to happen, because that's how we live more impactful lives, I guess, is the best way to say it. So
Well, I just want to make a comment that Social said towards you, Kristen, and him saying that you had an impact on his decision making. Well, I want to say that Killshot, you had an impact on me. I'm just going to put it out there. And Blind, you had an impact on me. And Michelle, you had an impact on me. And Kristen, you also had an impact on me. And all for the positive reasons. And I think, and a lot of you people in chat had impact on me that was positive. I think that was the biggest thing that helped me recognize, like why am I giving, like you said earlier, why am I giving oxygen to this fire? It's only going to fuel it like higher and higher and higher and just get out of control, because it's already out of control. There's no more oxygen that anybody can give to this. I just have to walk away before the house burns down. Like, that's just how I felt in that moment. Like, so
yeah,
I think, so I think like just, and also I really, really, and again, like I know I have my channel, I know I'm all about like being universally, united, whatever, but I really, really do think that there's no such thing as an accident when it comes to learning from each other and growing as people and recognizing fault when there's fault to be seen. Like, not everybody wants to look at themselves and say, oh my God, like that's a shitty thing I did, or I don't want to be that kind of person, or I didn't know that, I didn't see that creeping up inside of me. I don't know, like, how that got there, like, and then see it because somebody shows that to you. It's like, wow, like this person's right. Like, I don't have any right to say this because I did this other thing. Like, so I just want to say thank you to everybody who I've met this year on panels and on chats and in personal conversations and whatever it might have been, because I think that everything happens for a reason with people that are connected in some kind of a good, like a positive way. So that's my Christmas thank yous. And let's stop being so deep, you guys.
Oh no,
I know this was
like,
not
oh my God,
supposed
we
to
got
have
like a
been a
therapy
deep
session.
conversation, but I'm thankful for our therapy sessions when they're definitely when it's needed. Like,
yeah, for sure, for sure.
And like, I will say this too, Kristen. Like, you and I talk a lot, and there's some days that if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have made it through the day, because words do hurt. People's actions do hurt, and when you're already in a bad place mentally, where you're dealing with loss and trying to grieve in times when you should have already have went through your grieving process, but you have a late grieving reaction. I don't grieve when I should. Mine always comes late. So I will never be able to thank you enough for being there and understanding and just helping me through just daily struggles. Um, and I'm a firm believer in God sends people
Absolutely.
when you need them, and
Yep.
every person that is brought into your life is there for a reason. Some are only there for a season, some are there forever.
Yep.
And
Agreed.
everybody needs to have these kind of moments like we're having right now, because and Blind, and I don't know if he's still here, he can tell you that, when things got hot and heated in our own little group, and we were having our own little issues or whatever, I wasn't always nice. Like, he wasn't listening. So I would get mad because he wasn't listening, because we are humans, and every single one of us does this. Like, it's our way or no way. I'm 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 listening, but I'm not listening type thing. So we would have these discussions, and I would leave those discussions most of the time reflecting on things that I had said or done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
Because,
Exactly.
yeah, because you're going to find your own flaws in situations like that.
Well, we mirror each other, right? Like when there's a
Yeah.
connection between people, like a spiritual connection or God brings together, whatever the reason, we mirror each other. And like, because we're all an extension of ourselves. Like, really, when you think of it, we all came from, the man upstairs. Like, we're all brothers and sisters at the end of the day. And we should treat each other like such, with kindness and caring and forgiveness. But, we're human and we all make mistakes. We all have flaws. We all have, troubles and torments and traumas that we're all dealing with as adults that we probably should have dealt with as kids, but because of the era we came out of, that didn't exist. Now that it does, it's kind of like, okay, how do I do
They
it?
only
What do I
have
do
the
with
AirPods,
this?
and they're not charged.
Yeah, but yeah, so
They're
it's
upstairs
it's it's
on my bed, but the charger is in the car. They're not charged. No, I'm sorry.
it's definitely challenging, but if you can make the
What's
most
wrong
out
with
of
the
it at
ones
the
you
end of
just
the
look in the
day.
store right here? Or don't. I'm asking me if I got some headphones.
And walk away a better
I
person
don't
for
have
it, that's what's
headphones. I
important.
only have AirPods, and them things are dead.
Oh, I got AirPods for Christmas, so that when my phone needs to be charged, I can still talk to you guys. And not have to unplug my earbuds. That was so funny. I was like, oh, these are great. Like,
So I will just address something before, because I don't know if Killshot left. I know I sent the email to you because those are my thoughts, and if those helped you in some sort of way to get some clarity on going forward, then I guess that's awesome. I don't know. That's just how I roll. Michelle could tell you, it's just I just I can be
Like
calm
what?
like this all the time, or I can be the total opposite. Um, and I don't like to be that other person. So I just stay in the situation where I just want to be able to continue to help me and mine. And if that reflects onto somebody else and that's it has an impact in their lives, then I guess I'm grateful for that. So going forward, if that's what you got out of my email, then um, awesome. And if you're always welcome to email me back if you need any other sort of processing or clarity or whatever. Michelle knows that. She calls me as long as it's not super early in the morning. She calls me or texts me,
I
and we
don't
chat things through. So
do well with anybody in the mornings. It's no offense. If y'all text me in the mornings, you probably aren't going to hear right back.
yeah.
I'm not a
So
morning person. If you want to get
and
on my bad side, that's when you mess with me. Just go ahead and let
yeah.
me know.
well, you
And
helped me too,
I've
Kristen.
talked
You
to
did just by
Blind.
saying there, like, I'm
Yeah,
here for you. Like, that was all it was like,
yeah. And sometimes that's all people need to hear. And that's what the point of being together tonight was, to say there are a lot of people that are alone or in different circumstances on this holiday, and it's tough for people. So we just wanted to come together and say, you're not alone, and we're here for you. And we're sorry if there's negativity out there, but we can turn the page on that chapter if we make the choice to do so.
yes.
Tia, I don't understand the analogy. Just saying, as long as the trees are clear. I need you to explain that to me.
Hold on.
Yeah, you could take that a lot of different ways.
I'm like, okay, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm like,
midnight for me. My brain's like, I don't know how to look at that, but I'm gonna take it as a positive comment and make it positive. How about that?
KDM came in here, and I don't know if I acknowledged her. She said wonderful panel.
It wasn't
lovely.
So welcome, KDM. We're glad you stopped in tonight. TF as well. Trying to see if anybody else new came in that we hadn't acknowledged. But yeah, you guys, you're always welcome to contact me. Just email me, and I'll be happy to process something with you and hope that it brings you clarity. Blind did it today as well. He messaged me and just kind of bouncing some ideas off. And I'm fine to walk that road with you all, but I have to, but I also do it at the expense of keeping myself physically and emotionally safe, as well as my family. So
Absolutely.
that is where I come from, because I've got Princess,
you have a background.
And I have Princess who's wants to go work in the government, and I'm not gonna jeopardize anything for anybody. So what are we here for if we can't? What are we here for though if we can't empower people to be
better and be kind? Exactly. Absolutely.
Of themselves.
Yes.
Whatever that looks like for people, just be the best versions of yourself, and that's all you can do. And that's what I've told my kids from the day one. If somebody's bullying you, you just go continue to be the best version of yourself, day in and day out, and we'll process the stuff when you come home. But you be true to yourself.
Can I tell y'all the sweetest little story?
Mm-hmm.
This just reminded me, and don't cry because I might have, so I don't want y'all to, because it was just so freaking sweet.
So crying.
So you guys know that Reezy and I are close. Like, there's no questions about that. And she has a daughter that struggles with autism and has those issues of being able to understand someone else's emotions, and that's part of autism. They don't understand or can notice when someone is having emotional moments. So we have set Kella, my 8-year-old, up with Wheezy's daughter to give her someone to talk with and play the Roblox with, and as a little bit of an incentive. It works great. Kella and Wheezy's daughter have been doing really good together. Well, Kella experienced her first heartbreak yesterday, and when I say heartbreak, it was the most pitiful thing ever. Her little friend that she's had since like kindergarten told her, "Hey Keith," told her that she didn't like her anymore. "I don't like you anymore." And then said, "Go cry to your mama about that." Okay.
Wow.
Well, mama has to be quiet because this is an 8-year-old, so mama can't just go and vocalize her thoughts. So my child is like hysterically crying, and I'm like, I don't even have the words for her. Like, I don't even have the words. So immediately she calls her daddy, because that's what she does. If she's hurt, she's sick, physically hurt, she's calling her daddy. And he was like, "It's okay, she'll like you tomorrow." And he's at work, so he's taking this FaceTime. She's bawling her eyes out, and he's like, "It's okay, I'm at work, but we can talk about this when I get home." So she gets off the phone and she says, "I'm gonna call Wheezy's daughter because she always makes me feel better."
Oh.
And so she calls her, bawling her eyes out, and Wheezy's daughter's reaction was like, "Oh, Kella, what is wrong? It's okay. Kella, don't cry. I'm here. I'm right here for you. And all I could do was like, I'm on the phone with Wheezy, and I'm like, she was like, oh my God, she's never had any interaction like this. This is amazing. And I'm like, well, Merry Christmas, because this is just so cute. Like, it is precious. Like,
Well, she's like her mama. Wheezy's the sweetest as well. She's just like that.
Wheezy's daughter had a breakthrough during Kella's
Yep.
little crisis. And
Yep.
it just goes to show that God does work in mysterious ways, because,
Absolutely.
you know, at 14, they've waited for this moment for her to have that moment, and to be a part of it and have my child a part of it was just like, but it just shows that kids, it starts
Excuse me.
now in kids, the bullying and the hatred and the
Mhm.
but they're fine today. She likes Kella today, and I'm like, I'm not going to be the mom that just says, okay, yep, yes, Kella will play Roblox as long as you let her. We have to take the phone sometimes.
Oh, that's so beautiful. What a great story. Thank you for sharing that, Michelle. That's so sweet.
It was so precious, and my heart was breaking for my child. But then to have there was a positive moment in her heartbreak for her to say, I'm going to call her because she always makes me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's the funny part of it. Because she is autistic, you never know what's going to come out of her mouth. So Kella's phone died in the process. And so she walked in there, and Weezy and I were still on the phone, and she was like, well, what happened? So Weezy was telling her the story, and she was like, that little bitch. She was so mad. She was like, that little bitch, I don't like her. I'm going to hurt her. I was just like, dang, she didn't hold it back.
Protecting her friend.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
you
thing.
know,
That's what we want to do. You know, we want to
I'm
say those
surprised
things.
she didn't call Bestie Kristen, so she can always do that too.
I know. I was waiting for. I figured it was going to come down to that. Like, I thought I was going to have to, because I couldn't consult. I could not get her. I was like, Kelly, we have to go to Mama's. You've got to cheer up. Like, you can. So then she gets there, and you can tell that she's been crying because her face is just as red as it can be. And so she goes over there, and she got a reborn doll from her uncle yesterday morning. And so she got to take it with her to the dinner. And so my sister has, my baby sister, it never fails. She's always tormented Kella with her baby dolls. Like, she will take them and she'll like slap them or whatever just to mess with Kella. So before we left, Kella was like, she has real eyelashes, so Mimi cannot hit her or be mean to her like she does all my other babies. And I was like, okay. So at first, she wouldn't let Amy hold her. She was like, no, Mimi, you're not holding my baby. You're always mean. But by the end of the night, Mimi was the babysitter. But Mimi was being nice. But then Mimi was like, why are you crying? And she starts telling her the story, and she starts crying again. And my mama picks up the little plastic knife, and she was like, who said it? And I was like, could you not? Like, could we not? Like, my mama would probably cut somebody, but let's not threaten an 8-year-old, Mom. Like,
right.
And so my mama was like, she finally was like, okay, so so what? The little girl doesn't like you. Do you have other friends? And my mama was like, well, yeah, I have, Kella was like, yeah, I have lots of other friends. And she was like, okay, then, like, one should not affect the way the rest of you. I was just like, well, y'all are not helping this situation. Y'all don't help situations. But I figured I was going to have to. If I couldn't calm her down, I was calling Kristen, because I don't do well when she starts crying. Like, my boys never cried like she cries. So it like, you can just yell at her and she won't say anything. You'll just see the tears just start streaming, and I can't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even when she's in trouble, I have to like tell myself, nope, you cannot break. You cannot break.
Yeah.
I respect that, because I was not a very good disciplinarian with my child. Like, he had, some learning issues as well, because he has sensory auditory overloading, or whatever that's called, processing overloading, or I forget the name of it. But
Auditory
anyway,
processing delay.
That's it. But it's not a delay. It's like a overload. Like it gets overloaded with information.
Mm,
So yeah, I guess it would be a delay because it takes him a little bit longer to sort things out. But he basically hears everything and sees everything at the same time. So he can't
Right.
compartmentalize like most people can quickly. He has to like sort through it, sort of thing. So anyway, he, grew up kind of hard in school and he was bullied and teased and he had a rough time
hmm
of it. He had like special teachers to help him with certain subject matters and other ones he excelled in, other ones he didn't. But, that's fair. And then so he'd come home and, we would tutor and do all these things till like late at night. And then at one point, I think it was like, I don't know, the third grade, I just said, I can't, I have to give him a safe place, a safe space to come home so that he doesn't feel the pressure at home that he feels at school. And I think sometime along the way, I just never went back to, giving him the lessons of being self-disciplined and being structured. Although he is, it's not like I kind of wish that I had been more stronger like that, Michelle. Like I broke all the time. Like he'd cry and I would just be like, okay, like what do you need? Like I'm here for you. And because I'm a wuss, like I would just, when he cried, I would want to cry. Like it was just, I know what you're getting at. It's hard.
It's
Sometimes I'd be
hard
strong, but
because
sometimes I'd break. And it's like,
you can't even get onto her because she's just like oh, her daddy makes her cry more than I make her cry. Like she's okay with me yelling at her most of the time, but if he even like he doesn't even have to raise his voice. He just can calmly talk to her about something she's done wrong, and she just starts bawling. And I'm like, please don't yell at her. Please don't yell at her. Please don't yell at her. Because if you yell at her, then I'm gonna have to yell at you. like,
all that's
I
so
don't know.
sweet. And this is
My whole
more,
thing was I did it for so long by myself.
yeah,
I
me
didn't have
too.
any help for so long, but I knew I was not about to raise no heathens. I was not raising hellions, and I wasn't
Mm-mm.
raising wussies.
Mm-hmm.
So my boys, like over the years, I've gotten less. I've noticed that I've become less of a disciplinary than I used to be. Like with Fisher,
Yeah.
that child he was a hellion growing up. Oh my God. He used, but not in a bad way. Like he just did like crazy stuff. Like he would, y'all, this kid would put pinto beans at school up his nose. He would put them in his ear. He would put little pebbles in his ear. He would cut his hair. He'd cut in his shoes, his clothes, and I would be like, he would come home. Like the first time I had to shave his head, oh my God, it killed me. He'd come home and he'd cut an upside down V right here
Oh gosh.
in the front of his hair.
Oh, Michelle. Oh, that's that's incredibly
He
frustrating.
kept
I can't
that
even.
kid. That kid kept me on my toes.
I bet he
And
did.
then he's a little mouthy. He's very very much opinionated, and he doesn't find the positive in things. So we butt heads a lot with that because he doesn't find the positive, and it's always a negative with him. And the he was about 12, I think. Was he about 12? See, 19. See, 17, 16, 15.
I think we try to do the best we can with the tools God gave us when we raise our children,
Yeah.
and every child is different, right? Like you have 4 kids, so every child has a different personality and a different set of like what they're gonna like, how they're gonna be and react in certain situations. So I can't imagine. Like I had
Well,
one, and
this
so like I have
child,
12 kids. So it's just like,
yeah, at like 12 years old, like I can't stand a mouthy child. Like I don't care if it's mine or not. I can't stand a mouthy child. And at about 12 years old, we were getting ready for school one morning, and we was all looking for socks is what we was doing. We was making socks. And I was fussing about that, if you'd put your stuff away, we wouldn't have to be sitting here as early in the morning doing this. And he told me to shut my mouth. Well, I didn't even have time to process it. I done grabbed that little boy and I done put him up against the wall to where he was looking me straight in the eye, and we had a come to Jesus meeting. And that child don't raise his voice at his mama no more. He didn't ever do it again. And let one of his brothers do it. Oh, no.
He's not hyper anymore.
He's not hyper anymore.
No, I was talking about the dog.
Oh, yeah. Well, Fisher's not hyper anymore either. He's calmed down a whole lot. Right now, he's just at 19 years old and on his own, living the military life. So Mama's having to accept that he's growing up.
I'm there right with you, sister. My son's 19 too, and he's about to go in and write his aptitude test to go, and it's going to be a life-changing year for me that way when he's gone. And like, I think we try our best with our children, and we try. Well, for me, I was trying so hard not to be one parent, I turned into the other one that I had growing up. But anyway, that's another story. But I think at the end of the day, it's like you just try to give your kids the best. It's like kids like Killshot said on one of his lives. He said, you try to do the best you can for not that what you didn't have, but to make
Right.
their lives kind of better than what you had to. But at the same time, like, let them understand that what humble is, and what, I don't know, I can't remember how he said it, but it was so eloquent, and just he's so articulate with the way he says things, and it just was like, yeah, like I totally get that, because that's how I raised my son. Like, for me, like my dad and my stepmom, like they were, he spent a lot of time with them. Like they helped me raise him because, I worked 2 jobs and I was on my own. And, my dad and I had a great relationship, and he just adored Colby, and they were very close, very, very close. He's like a father figure to him, because his dad wasn't around. So they had a really strong bond. And so if my father, set him down, he was very patient, man. Oh my God, the patience my father had later on in life. Was incredible. And, it was at the perfect timing, because he would set my son down and they'd have a conversation and it'd be all good. Oh, he just came and gave me a hug. Anyway, but I didn't have that patience.
Night,
Like, I'm
Tia.
European. I would be yelling and screaming. It's like, why are you doing that for? Like, oh my God, like, why? I don't understand what's happening right now. Like, you need to go to your homework right this minute. Like, why do you tell me this right now, not 2 weeks ago? Like, stuff like that, right? And my dad was just so patient with him. And so he got parts of my dad that I couldn't, anyway. The point is I tried to bring him up open-minded and loving and caring and respectful of other people. And I think at the end of the day, if our kids are kind and caring and respectful of other people and open-minded and um like forgiving and caring and kind, I think we've done our job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for
Now,
example, he might not get self-discipline from me, but he's going in the military. He knows he needs it. He'll get it there. Like, he knows he's going to get
yours
it
is
there.
going military too?
Oh yes.
Bless your
Yeah, he
heart.
wants to go into imaging tech. He wants to, like, cuz he was originally going to go to school for mixed media because he wanted to do film, and he had been involved with film with some like private group stuff here around the city, and had created a few short films and stuff. So he loved filming and directing and getting all the actors together, and he loved it. So he wanted to do that. And then we had a conversation one time, and it'd come up before, but we weren't sure if he was gonna like circle back to it or not, because it was an option. And then he came to me one day, he's like, Mom, he's like, you're right. He's like, why would I struggle and have debt and all this kind of stuff? And I know you save money, and Dad's got money for me, whatever, since he passed away for school and stuff. And but like, he's like, I want to give you that money for helping me out the last couple of years. And when I go to school, like, I'm just gonna join the military and they'll pay for everything, and then I'll get the structure I need and the brotherhood I have, because all his friends moved away and it was tough the last few years. And
So, let me ask you this, because I
imaging
don't
tech,
know.
so it's yeah. So you're on
So,
the front line and you're
like
taking pictures and
The Canada Armed Forces,
video. Yeah, that Canadian Armed Forces. Yeah, so we have a Navy, we have an
but does
Air
it
Force,
provide as
and
much
military.
as like? Okay, so for us, their basic necessity, like they have like a defact on base where they can eat for free, but
Yep.
it's just like cafeteria foods. They don't want to eat that all the time. And then, of course, their housing is paid for, but like Fisher's barracks aren't good. They're not good barracks. Okay,
There are
which
spaces that
is
aren't the greatest.
ridiculous because he's first brigade,
Okay.
which means they're the first ones to go. Like no questions asked. First brigade's going.
Mm-hmm. So he's infantry
But
then.
second brigade got new apartments or new barracks. They're pretty much apartments. So like second brigade is where he goes to, like he goes to their defact on second brigade's side because the food is
Yeah.
better. Like, so there's a lot of pros and cons. He doesn't see a pro about the military at all right now. He's in his own little mindset. He will think differently later, I'm sure. But right now he's not. So
I think Kobe's gonna
I
love it,
think
but I think
he had
his
a
issue
like
is going to be not having his own time to de-stress. Like that's he's going to find that hard. The discipline and the being yelled at and all the structure, he'll excel in that.
so
I just,
here
yeah.
they cannot yell and berate them the way they used to could.
No, same. That's changed. A
Okay.
lot of that has changed. Yes. Yep. 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 Yeah. There's a lot of changes in
It
that
was
respect
still
here as
rough.
well.
It was
It
still
was rough.
very, very
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. See, he hasn't gone through basic training yet or anything, but my stepmom's boyfriend, he's technically still in the military, so he knows the ins and outs of what happens. And he was telling me about it, and he said, yeah, it's hard, but it's not as harsh as it used to be. Like you
Now,
can't fail, you can't not pass, you can't, like, you know what I mean, like you have your partner, they push you to do well, and
is
there's a
there an
buddy system.
opportunity? Does he have the opportunity to do the U.S. Armed Forces?
Well, I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. um
Because I
I
know a
think
lot of
that
people do come and do the U.S. I don't know how it works either, but I know a lot of them
yeah.
do come and do the U.S. Armed Forces, and then you get, you know, then you got an easier way to get into the U.S. Just saying.
Well, all I know right now is that imaging tech's what he wants to do, and I think the starting salary is like between $40,000 and $56,000 a year, because you're on the front lines taking pictures of the soldiers and the war zones and everything else. Like you're like a journalist, really. So you're filming and all this sort of thing. And then his second choice was cook, which they need very much of. So there's a $10,000 signing bonus just to become a cook in Canada. Like literally, they need people to join. Like
Speaking of fish, I need to add fish.
it's crazy. And like, but if you can't meet the
Really need to have
requirements,
sign-on
you're just
bonus.
not gonna. Not everybody's cut from the same cloth, like. But he's going to try and see if he's made of it, and see if he's got what it takes, and that's what I'm proud of. I said, listen, if you try your best and it's not for you, that's okay too.
Yeah. Now,
All you can do is try your best.
Fisher, literally, oh my gosh, it was okay. So he joined at 17.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh wow.
Yeah, he. So he had done Civil Air Patrol, where it's like what's the ROTC type thing,
Okay.
except for they can learn to fly. They can be pilots, and that's what he was doing. And then COVID hit, so he got out. And during that time, he got in with a not a horrible crowd, but started smoking pot and drinking, and we went through a really rough time. And
My son lost a lot of his friends to that shit. Like
at one
one
point,
of his friends was shot dead on the street, like that he went to school with,
yeah, at
junior
one
high.
point, I removed him from our home, sent him to live with someone who was a lot tougher than I was, and it, didn't last long before he seen the error of his ways and wanted to come home. And so then he went back to smoking pot, and we were fighting again. And then all of a sudden, he calls me one day. I had just had surgery, so I was in the bed. And he was like, Mom, what are you doing? I said, Fisher, I just had surgery this morning, so I'm laying in the bed. I just had a big old hole cut out of my butt. So I'm just laying in the bed. And he was like, let me rephrase that. I had skin cancer removed. Let me verify that, because that did not turn out. That didn't sound right.
This is going to go sideways if you don't clarify that.
Right. And so it had to be 5 inches wide and 4 inches deep. It was painful. And they said it wasn't going to be. It was painful. So I was in the bed, and he was like, well, I'm on my way home to talk to you. I said, what did you do? He's like, it's nothing bad, Mom. I just need to talk to you. And I was like, okay, well, I'm upstairs in the bed. Well, he calls back, and he was like, okay, I don't get to come home because I got to work. They need me to work a second shift. He said, but I was coming home to talk to you because I just left the recruiter's office, and I was wondering if you would go with me one day this week to talk. And he says, well, I just left the recruiter's office. And I was like, for what? He was like, because I was going to see if you would come and sign the papers for me to join. And I was like, son, you realize that you got to pass a drug test, right? And he was like, Mom, I haven't smoked in 3 months. I didn't even know. Didn't even know he had quit smoking and that he was working on doing this. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go with you in a couple of days. We'll go. And he wanted to do combat medic. And so he was taking the practice test to make sure that he could score high enough. And this child who never studied and studied and studied and studied for that test before he went to MEPS to take the real test. But I go in, and everything sounds okay. Everything sounds good. We had long talk. A couple of days later, I went in, signed the papers, and 3 weeks later, he was leaving on a jet plane.
Yep.
Like,
That's the
we
other
didn't
thing
even
too, is
have
like the
time
travel
to
and
we didn't even have time to process it. Like, it was
oh
so
wow.
fast.
So fast,
And
yeah.
then he was gone for 6 months, and because of COVID, like, we weren't even able to go see basic training graduation.
Oh, what a
There was
shame.
so many weeks where they were punished in basic, so they didn't get their phone calls. Sometimes we only got a 10-minute phone call, and it was horrible.
Rough, yeah.
And
Ugh.
then he graduated at the end of January. We knew the night before graduation, we were told that, well, the day the day before graduation was when he called, and he's like, Mom, Russia just attacked Ukraine.
Mhm. Wow.
And then that night he called, and he's like, Mom, I got to talk to you. I was like, what now? He's like, so you know where I'm going? He said, but we just all received a phone call, the ones that are going to that base, that we are already on heightened alert. So we go to graduation. We get 15 minutes with him after graduation. And then they have to load the buses and be taken to the airport. And we drove to the other side of Georgia to meet him there, get him set up, make sure that he had everything that he needed before we left. And when they started their paperwork, they told him, you're already in, what did they call it? Deployment. You're already in
Mhm.
deployment. And so he didn't even get to settle into his barracks before they
Wow,
shipped him off.
that's rough. That's really
So
traumatic,
we
like
didn't
how
have
quick that
time
would
to
be.
adjust to him
Yeah.
joining. And we didn't have time to adjust to him being deployed. And then, you know, we've seen him quite a bit more than we thought we would get to see him.
Mhm.
But after he studied and studied and studied for that test, and he scored high enough to get combat medic, they
Mhm.
didn't have any combat medic positions.
Oh, so you had to get put on a waiting list. That's
No,
what he's afraid of.
but it was because of the fact that they were bringing, at the time was when they were bringing all of them home from Afghanistan.
Okay.
So that's why there was no openings. So I was like, okay, well then let's look at our list. Infantry is absolutely not an option. Like, I know it's on that
No.
list, but it is not an option for you. And then he said, well, I think I've decided. He come in here and he said, I think I've decided, because he'd been watching all the videos and doing his research. Very proud of him. And he said, I'm going to go Calf Scout. So Mom didn't know what Calf Scout was, so Mom has to
I
do
don't know
her
what Calf Scout
research.
is either.
He's done put this in his contract, and kind of find out Calf Scouts are the first in, first out, not infantry. He goes in before infantry goes in.
Oof.
Yeah. And then he calls the other week and he's like, I think I'm going to drop my packet. And I was like, what is that? He was like, oh, just to join the, what was it? The Special Forces. He said, but then that adds another 6 years. And I'm like, well, I done told you, I think you need to stay in and retire.
Yes, because they get to retire super early. Like, it's like what, 44 or 43 here in Canada, and you can retire with a
He
full
would
pension.
retire at 37.
God, it's even better than the States.
Michelle,
Well,
you have some
17, so he gets.
You have some stuff in chat to look at. Nothing bad, but just.
Anyway, you guys,
people...
I love you. I'm gonna jump down because I got like 13% left, and I think I've taken enough of time of your panel tonight, honey.
No, it's okay.
So,
And I think I'm gonna jump off too. Go take a shower. And
yeah, but anyways, thanks for having me on, guys. So nice to speak to you
you're
guys.
welcome.
And all the love to everybody in chat. Thank you so much. Your comments are adorable. They're lovely.
If you will send your nephew our love and our thanks for serving.
Yes.
Even if he's not serving anymore, we still, I mean, I still have just as much respect for the veterans as I do the ones that are still serving.
Well, just one quick comment. Like, my son came to me one day and he said, I've come to realize, like, we're peacekeeping nation. Like, Canada's known as peacekeepers, right? So
yes.
He said that he was talking to a friend who has a brother, right? And he said the hardest part for him is going into these countries and not being able to do a thing. It's so psychologically damning to see bad things happen that you can't prevent. Like, so I worry about that part of it, but I don't know. It's his decision. It's his life. We have to, respect our kids' decisions and hope for the best. But I know I'm going to be stressed out and calling you an awful lot, Michelle, if he gets to the military. I'll be like, please, girl, give me some strength. How do I deal with this? What did you do? Like, right? So anyway.
It was,
oh man.
Sometimes we're better than others. And you have to, for me, it was finding myself, keeping myself occupied. Because my kids were in school. He was gone. I was home all day by myself. Like, so I had to find things to occupy me. And yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing. If you don't have something to occupy yourself, you're going to have to find something to occupy yourself.
Yeah. Well, I got plenty of things to do. I'll have plenty of time to do them, I suppose, once he's not here, because then I'll be worrying about other things, I suppose. But I don't know. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thanks, chat. Thanks,
Good
Michelle.
night.
Thanks, Kristen. Love y'all. Merry Christmas.
Love y'all.
Bye.
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 All right, you guys. It has been a wonderful 2.5 hours. Kristen, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I just think it was, it was a great crowd tonight, and I just everybody remember just to be kind to one another. I mean, you just don't know what people are going through. Going into the new year, like, if Michelle's content is something that you like, great. If you hear something in it that you're questioning, question her. Don't go to any other source. Question her. She would rather have it come from her mouth, as would I. So if you hear something on my channel just the same, or that I've said in chat and you're confused about something, come to the source. because we would love to process that with you so that you get the right
Yeah.
factual information going forward. But we are super appreciative of your support, your continued support, and we just look forward to doing good things in the new year. And just be kind to each other. It's the best we can do because it's tough enough out there. So if you were alone today, I hope this helped a little bit, that we could spend a couple hours with you and help you feel some sort of community support. So KTM, thank you. Keith, I didn't get to acknowledge you, but hello and thank you for coming in. Katie Bug. Anybody else? Princess Megan Elsa, she's had a hard day today, so I see you, I recognize you in chat, and I'm sorry that it's been a difficult day for you. So
See that
Amethyst.
those comments aren't over here.
I'm seeing them on my phone.
Well, Princess Megan Elsa, I can't see them, and I'm not sure what was said, but I'm sorry.
It's been a hard day. It's been a hard day for her.
But
yeah.
know that I'm wrapping you in love tonight.
So thank you,
Yeah,
Foxfire. Thank
great.
you.
That's
Thank
right,
you
Katie.
for Judy. Thanks to Judy for hopping on and asking her questions and giving her thoughts. So
Yes. Ain't nothing wrong with the little extra family. Extended family. All right, you guys. I will see you guys again on Tuesday. Tomorrow is spending the day out in the country with all the fun toys.
yep. Well, have fun. Be safe.
We have lots of riding toys too. So.
Yeah. All
We're
right.
gonna go in the woods. Might find me a deer. My husband thinks that I'm gonna start hunting now, and I'm like, no. I like to shoot, but I don't like to shoot things. Or
yeah.
Let me rephrase that. I like to shoot things. I don't like to shoot people or human or animals. And I don't think I could, even if I had to feed myself, shoot a deer. So
yeah.
Like y'all can go shoot them, and I will cook them, but I don't want to eat. I don't want to take something's life.
Yeah.
I'm okay with targets.
Hey, Amethyst. Amethyst, if you do want to put her link in the chat, that's fine, for Foxfire's channel. If you want to do mine as well, you can. I think most people probably in this chat have already subbed, but and if you could do Michelle a favor, if you're still here, just like that, hit that like button.
Right.
It helps.
Like I don't mind eating the meat. Like I like hamburger and chicken and Venice and yeah. I just don't think that I could actually do it.
Yeah, I couldn't, but
I don't know. I might someday. Doubt it. I'm 40. I don't think I'm going to start hunting now. All right, you guys. I'm going to go take a shower and go to bed. If my husband's awake, I'm going to watch TV with him for a little bit. But
thank you all. And yeah, we'll connect on Tuesday. Well, I'm sure I'll talk to you before that, Michelle.
Now, if there's some breaking news, something comes up.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
I will. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. Like I'll have signal and stuff, so during downtime I'll be checking. So if something breaks in Madalina's case, then I will definitely go live. But I don't plan to go live tomorrow. And I'm mad. My cup is supposed to glow in the dark, and it doesn't glow in the dark. All right, you guys. I love y'all. Good night.
Night.